Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleCast. I'm your host, Richard Billy Jr., and tonight I'm joined by Mr. Adam Vale. How's it going, Adam?
What's up, people? Get excited.
Yes, it's time to get excited and get ready for a long weekend of wrestling.
Non-stop wrestling. 15 hours long.
Yes.
I don't know. That's just, if you think about it, there really is a lot of wrestling this weekend.
Oh, it is, absolutely. And I won't be watching most of it, but we'll see. We're also joined by Miss Dana Abercrombie. How's it going, Dana?
Oh, man, she got everything cut out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry, I had my hand on the wrong button. I'm excited for wrestling, so yay, 20 hours.
No.
More than that. Honest, do the intro. Get the...
Yes, and we're also joined by my very good friend, Mr. Ricardo Negron. How's it going, Ricky?
Going great. Keep calm and believe in the Shield.
Yes, and I believe that the Shield is played out, but Vince McMahon doesn't. So we'll see what happens with that.
We will see, and we will get into that a bit later. But yes.
Absolutely. So we have quite a bit of topics to get into this week because, SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver Brooklyn are happening this upcoming weekend. But yes, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, all types of news, as well as some updates on WWE 2K18. So we're going to start the show off, though, on a somber note. Most of you already know that Ric Flair has been having some health issues as of late. So we definitely wanted to send our well wishes, and I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on what's going on now. I don't really know about the latest of what is going on with the situation with Ric Flair because the story keeps changing. So, Dana, I believe you mentioned right before we started recording that you have a bit of an update on Ric Flair. Please feel free to let us know what it is.
Well, yes, it's a very unfortunate situation, but it has been reported by multiple outlets, including TMZ, that Ric Flair is currently suffering with multiple organ failure. And, that's pretty hard to bounce back from. So thoughts and prayers with that. The family has been holding vigils and being strong. And the wife has, released a statement saying that they just need prayers. Anyone out there to just pray, and that they don't know what the outcome would be, but they're trying to remain hopeful and hopefully that some miracle will happen. She said that she took Ric Flair to the hospital on Friday, and he had severe abdominal pain. And ever since then, it's just been one bad news after the other. And you guys already know about the coma, and she's been out of the coma, in of the coma. So right now, it's just multiple organ failure is what it's at right now.
Yeah, that's horrible news because when I initially heard the first part of the story, I thought it was a heart issue. That was the main thing that I saw when I started seeing everything getting reported on. So this is a very bad situation. Definitely wanted to send my prayers out to Ric Flair and the entire family, as I'm sure we all want to do that. But Adam or Ricky, do you have anything you would like to say on this particular subject?
Just sad. It's just sad. He's had health issues before, and then he said that it was in his book. He talked about it where he had some ongoing issues due to all the alcohol he's drunk over the years, caused all kinds of health problems. So it's one of those things, and it's not just for him; it's for everybody. It's a wake up call. Whether you're constantly smoking or you eat bad or whatever, all this shit will catch up to all of us. Whatever we abuse, it will catch up at some point. And it's just another wake up call. So it's sad. I really hope he's able to overcome these other issues. Multiple organ failures. That's rough. That's really rough. So yeah, he's definitely gonna need these prayers. But it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you want to add, Ricky?
Yeah, sure. My first ever wrestling show was 25 years ago in the Boston Garden. And main event of that was Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper beating Ric Flair and Sid Justice in a tag match. And I remember I was a little kid, and I brought a sign. It's really lame. It said like "Real World's Chump," and I remember just being so excited and all that, and bringing it up there. Ric Flair. You know, I don't want to talk about him as if he's dead, because there's still a chance that he'll recover from this and all that. But he's been such a part of my life as a wrestling fan that it's hard to imagine him not being there. So, my thoughts and prayers definitely with the family, and hoping he'll make it out of this fine. It's a scary thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely scary. And as Adam said, it is a wake-up call that, yes, if anyone's doing bad habits, they do catch up to them. So it's unfortunate, but hopefully he is able to make it out of this. But yes, we do extend our prayers to everybody and hope for the best. So just wanted to start off and discuss that. Now, to switch topics and talk about something else. We need to talk about what the hell transpired on SmackDown last night regarding Baron Corbin in the Money in the Bank cash-in attempt that failed. So I do have some things to say on this, but I know, Adam, you said that you specifically wanted us to address this.
Man,
go ahead.
Man, this is just poor booking. That's the only thing I can think of, unless he did some horrible shit backstage. But think about this. People are like, oh, well, it's story, it happens. But right before a major pay-per-view like SummerSlam, you know what I mean? Like, you throw something like this on SummerSlam. Why did something like this happen, on SmackDown? Not only that, why did this happen at all? This just was a waste. I mean, the whole Money in the Bank thing's supposed to mean something. It's supposed to have value and weight and, have its own thing. I mean, you saw once he looked down at that briefcase, the crowd went nuts. They were expecting something big, and then especially when he cashed it in. Who was it? Was it Sheamus when he had a few times where he would cash it in, but then fake cash it in, or the ref didn't ring the bell right away, and then he would take it back? It was Sheamus, I think.
I think it was Sheamus, yeah.
Right? He did a bunch of stuff. I was expecting something like that, because I was like, there's no way. This can't be. He just lost it just like that. You know what I mean? That makes you a player. You know what I mean? The Money in the Bank, most of the people, when they cash it in, they win the title. You know what I mean? It sets up something. And to have it just be taken from him, I mean, in such a quick fashion. I mean, it wasn't even like he had a match. It was BS. The whole thing was just BS. Now, on the other hand, some people saying, well, this is to build interest, because, a lot of people don't really seem to care about these matches in SummerSlam. They're having trouble selling out, which is a rarity for a SummerSlam event. So the fact that they threw these big main events that we saw on Raw, like with the Bray Wyatt and the Finn Balor, throwing that in there, saying, look, this feud, and look, oh, Bray just beat him, and he spilled all this gook all over him, but then they were like, oh, yeah, don't worry, the demon's coming, and trying to hype that up. Okay, so he's coming in face paint, whatever. That doesn't mean shit. But they were throwing that in there because everything was pointing to trying to build up the hype. And the same goes with the Corbin thing, that they're trying to build up that quick feud hype between him and Cena. Like, oh, this is why you need to watch. He cost them that Money in the Bank. You know what I mean? It's too much, too quick, and it just doesn't fit. And it feels wrong. I don't like this rushness that everything just seems to be like cramming in, and to go home to this pay-per-view. It just doesn't feel right. And I'm sure that when Corbin showed up and he looked at the board and he found out what he was going to be doing, I'm sure he called a fit backstage, and probably not in front of everybody. He won't be a team player, but he's just like, yo, this was my shot to become, throw something in the main event, do something big, and this is how I lose it? That's a smack in the face. Smack in the face. Even if they hyped it up, oh, well, this is going to benefit you. This is going to benefit the whole match you're going to have with Cenas. No, it's not. No, it's not. It doesn't do anything. It just makes him lose the Money in the Bank, and then that's one less thing for people to look forward to. because that's one thing we always look forward to. That at a main event, and there was a Money in the Bank, usually at a SummerSlam or a Mania or a Rumble, somebody's gonna run down. Now, nothing's gonna happen. That's it.
So I just want to say one comment real quick. You said it is a smack in the face. Well, this is SmackDown Live, so
that's it.
There you go. There you go. But no, the thing is this. I agree with everything you said. I was surprised that they took this route. And then earlier today, I saw there was some rumors that are out there saying that he has backstage heat, that they don't like the way that he's been doing these promos with John Cena, that Cena has been destroying him in the promos, and that they just are not impressed, so they just wanted to get that briefcase off of him as quick as possible.
But that doesn't even make sense because he doesn't write the promos. The writers write. So what, they're upset about his delivery? That's the only thing they could be upset about. And still, even with that, it's like the Money in the Bank, that briefcase, that's a story in itself. So even if he doesn't win, you could still use it to help get somebody else over. You know what I mean? It's all the things you can do. And they just strip it so quick, especially when, that's something that people are looking forward to seeing or expecting to see play a part in SummerSlam. So it's like, well, why'd you do this? You know what I mean? It gets people talking. We're talking. A lot of people are talking in shock. But no one cares to say, damn, he's going to give an ass whooping to Cena now.
That's true.
It didn't help the match. It didn't do anything for the match. I mean, most of us, if not everybody, expected him to lose that match at SummerSlam anyway. But we expected him that he was going to try to cash in during the Shinsuke, and the Jinder. That's what I thought. He's going to try to throw himself in the mix.
That right there is the other theory as to why they didn't want people expecting that cash in. Apparently, they want everyone to focus on Jinder and Shinsuke, but I don't know if I believe that either. I just think, as you said, they want to get people to watch SummerSlam, so they wanted to try and shake it up. With the same thing when you look over what happened on Raw and the fact that they took the belt off of Neville, I definitely wasn't expecting that to happen on the Raw before.
Yeah, all of that. And then, again, this is all to cause buzz and talk because then they already know. It's one of those things. Like they just like poking the bear. They know about the internet. They know what people say. One minute they want everybody to jump online and read their shit. Next minute, stop reading that gossip. Stop reading all that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, make up your mind. But then they're playing to it because they're like, all right, we need to generate more buzz. We need people to care. How do we make them care? Shake things up. Change belts day before or the weekend before at a house show at like Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean? It's like, that's why they're doing all of this. But doesn't mean it's good for the end product. Doesn't mean it's good for what they're trying to get people to. Okay, now everyone's talking about it. But then what? I mean, what's going to happen? That like the whole thing with the Neville and all that. Okay, I mean, honestly, Neville should have lost that belt a while ago. I honestly feel Austin Aries should have had it, and he could have been a really good heel with it. And they could have had some. I mean, they needed a babyface involved somehow. And the way they see it, you can't have two heels battling it out. But man, they could have did so much more with that. So, yeah, fine. He wins. Okay, then they have their rematch. So now it's like the roles have been reversed. Usually we get the rematch after a big pay-per-view. Now we're doing everything reverse. We have the match and the rematches are on the pay-per-view. Or are we going to see a three-peat? Are we going to see this match, like we just saw, belt changes hands, SummerSlam comes, belt changes hands, or maybe not, and then they get another rematch. And then that's going to be on Raw. Are we going to see something like that? Because they're like, Neville invokes his rematch clause automatically. Oh, okay. So then let's say he does win. Then doesn't that mean the other dude gets to invoke his rematch and then we see it on Raw again? You know what I mean? It's like, is this going to be flip-flopping? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. We'll see. Ricky, you have any thoughts?
Real quick, though. Is that going to be on within the first 3 hours or is that like the pre-show? That's the other thing. Because remember, we saw that with Mania. So are we supposed to care about what happens with these dudes? Or it doesn't matter because it's not on the main SummerSlam?
Well, I would say with John Cena being in the match that, they're going to make sure that that's on the card. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Ricky, what are your thoughts on the cash-in?
The failed cash-in. John Cena has been involved in all the failed cash-ins that have happened, including his own. He's the Grim Reaper when it comes to the Money in the Bank. No offense to Undertaker, he's the real Grim Reaper there. But this whole thing with the failed cash-in with Corbin was definitely a shock. I'm going to confess right now that when it happened, I wasn't watching. Richard actually kind of got my attention. He said, "I can't believe that just happened." I turn on the TV, and I see that Corbin just got screwed there. Now, I didn't flip out like everyone else did because I noticed something. That when the pin happened, Jinder Mahal's foot was under the rope. So if WWE wants to care about that, they can always say the pin is nullified because Jinder's foot was out on the rope. I remember a match with Ambrose against Triple H, classic match they had in Toronto. It was Roadblock in early last in 2016. And Dean Ambrose did the dirty deeds on Triple H, and he pinned them 1, 2, 3, but the referee noticed that, Ambrose's leg is under the rope. It doesn't count. Restart the match. And there's a lot of times where they conveniently point that out, and there's times when they don't. So whether they do that with this for Corbin or not, whether they're going to say, okay, Corbin, we're going to give you, a rematch or something, who knows? Or we'll give you the briefcase back. We don't know. But it is a bit of a silly stunt to pull because I believe that one of the most exciting things in WWE is the Money in the Bank cash-in. And I like a lot of people wanted to see SummerSlam to see if we were going to see that because some of the best cash-ins have happened on pay-per-views. So they took that element out completely, which I don't agree with him. Yeah, to what Adam said, I don't think that it helps the feud at all. It makes Corbin look like a chump. So I don't know what the end game is there. I mean, especially with the guy that they've only had on the main roster for 16 months, you got to build that guy up. You don't bury him by having him have a 6-second pinfall on a Money in the Bank cash-in. It just doesn't make sense. So I have to think there's something a little more to it than that. So there's a part of me that's really skeptic that we haven't heard the end of this, and that Corbin that they may do something regarding the foot being on the rope. But who knows? We'll see. It depends on whether they actually can do that or not.
That's a good point. I didn't even notice that with the rope either. So I don't know. But hopefully it is something they will consider. What they may do is they may wait to see how Corbin does with Cena at SummerSlam. And if he doesn't perform up to their standards, then they'll just say, well, no, we're not going to address that. He just loses the match and that's it.
See, now that I still don't buy any of that either, because I mean, if they have no confidence, they know way in advance. Look how long it takes for these people to come up. They spend like a year or two in NXT, then they get on the main roster and they put them in 2 or 3 feuds. They watch them. So if you're going to start complaining when it's down to the last minute before a big show and then do something like this, that just doesn't make sense. I mean, you saw it. They sort of complained about Alexa Bliss. Everybody knew it. Stuff was happening. But they never really dropped her. They kept her strong. And look, everything worked out. Yeah, she's not great in the ring, but she's awesome on the mic. You know what I mean? And, she's pretty to look at. So they're like, it works. We'll figure it out. We'll put her against other people. It'll work. It'll be fine. And that's the thing. Vince likes his big guys. Corbin is a big guy. He's pretty good in the ring. He can move around. He's got some good moves and finishes that they gave him. It works. It all suits him. Is he great on the mic? Not so much. But there's a lot of big guys that aren't great. You don't need to be the total package all the time.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, Roman Reigns. There you go. Perfect example. I hate when I was watching that Bring It to the Table, and straight up JBL is saying that he is the future. He is the man. How the hell are you going to come out and say that this is how they see him leading into a 4-way? You're basically saying scrap the other guys. That doesn't matter about them. It's all about Roman. Why? Why are you saying this shit?
Oh,
JBL's a company. JBL's a company show, though.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't want to know this. I don't want to know that the company already made their decision and think, hey, regardless of what he does, the guy can go and piss on the audience. He's still the guy because we like the way he looks. Because that's what it comes down to. You know what I mean? He's not the total package. You know, there's plenty of guys. It's very rare you get a total package. Like if you get someone like an Undertaker, you know, great with his one-liners, got the look, got everything. Everything's believable on him. You know, John Cena, love him, hate him. The guy works. You know what I mean? He keeps coming in. He does his thing, takes his bumps. He gets people over. He's great on the mic. You know, it's, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people don't like AJ's accent. They think that's his downfall. You know, then it's like, well, yo, I mean, what do you want? Do you enjoy watching him? Yeah, I do. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? That's all that matters. So if this whole thing is because, you know, they feel that with he was getting destroyed on the mic, then don't talk. You know, have him say, you know what? I don't want to talk. I want to push the shit out of you. And put the fit. I don't know. Do something like that. We don't keep it to the way it was before. You know, everybody had to jump on the mic. You know what I mean? I mean, one of the best, and what we talked about earlier, that was really started that whole trend was Ric Flair. You know, because he would just go on these rants. He would get all hyped up, and people were like, what the hell is he doing? You know, and started talking about all this crazy style and the profile and Jeff. You know, he went nuts, and then other people had to follow. But very few people can do that. You know, and that's what makes them special. Okay, not everybody is special. You may label them all as superstars, but there's very few that really shine bright like that. You know, and so what? Did we think that Corbin was going to be the next big thing? No, because JBL just told us he's not. You know what I mean? So who gives a shit? But the point is that he's still learning. You know what I mean? I think they're still going to have a decent match. They didn't need to do this shit. You know, so that's why it tells me that there must have been some more backstage stuff, something else going on that they did this to prove a point. You know, like, oh, we can give it and we can take it away. You know, it's got to be something to that. And it sucks, but you know what? It's a circus. It's, you know, all year round. They travel constantly. This is how you crack the whip. This is the only way you crack the whip. You know, you crack the whip by putting it on live TV and humiliating them. You know, this is a company doing its own rib. You know, people say, oh well, you know, I mean, the best example is Triple H. When Triple H talked about the big hug, remember that was caught on camera that a fan recorded. He bootlegged it at Madison Square Garden when Razor Ramon and Kevin Nash were leaving. You know, Scott Hall were leaving, and then Shawn Michaels came out and everybody, and they gave the hug. And Triple H came out and gave the hug. Vince was pissed. After that, Triple H said he didn't win another match for like a year. He was jobbing, he was doing everything. He knew, and now it's punishment. You know, he went from being red hot to zero, just like that. You know, and that's nothing. And you would think most people would say, you know what, that might not be a smart move, thinking that you just lost your two big guys. Do you really want to piss off the next guy that you had on line? What if he gets up and goes? But Vince don't play like that. That's it. And Triple H wasn't that type of guy. He already been there. Came back, did this whole thing. So, but it's punishment. So who knows? I don't know. I'm sure Baron Corbin was hot. Either way, I'm sure he was pissed by this. It's just that.
One thing I wanted to say real fast was that, you know, it's a difference with it feels like to me, like, you know, I've watched wrestling in the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, and now the 2010s or whatever this decade is. And I've noticed the difference that it feels like there's not a lot of wrestlers that feel like there's an emotional connection with the crowd. And I think that one of the big problems is that if you look back at some of the old promos, as you mentioned, like, you know, Ric Flair or, you know, Dusty Rhodes, Macho Man, some of the really great promos of all time. The difference was, if you're looking at the wrestlers now, they're doing this. They're looking to the side and talking to someone out there instead of actually looking in the camera to the people at home watching and making that connection. That's one of the big things I've noticed the difference. They don't do that now, and that's a big problem in my eyes. I feel like there's no connection with the audience. There's a big disconnect there. You know, the little details like that. I don't know why they changed the promo styles, but that's how it is now, and kind of sucks. But yeah, that's just kind of me just going off on a tangent. Yeah.
You know what it also tells me, though? I mean, it's one of those things of like when you have so much talent, like that WWE they have a lot of talent. I mean, we're about to talk about another guy who's coming in. They have a lot of talent. So it's at the point where it's like, you know what? We don't like you too much. That's it. You're done. Poof. And we'll just push somebody else up there because they got it like that. You know what I mean? It's the bottom line. They got it like that. It's like, let's say, a big time baseball player, football player who's got it like that. Girls come and go, whatever, don't matter. And it's the same thing. They know they're the big player of the game. They got all this talent. They're scooping them up from wherever. People that say they don't want to go really do want to go, at least for a little bit. Everybody wants a WrestleMania moment. But then they come in, and so then it's like, even if you are a guy that they're pushing, if you do cross them wrong or you do something wrong, you're replaceable quick. You know what I mean? There's plenty of other guys in the back that can take your spot, and that's another one. It's like, yeah, that's it. Poof. Who knows? I mean, shit, who knows? After SummerSlam, we may not see Corbin for a while. We don't know. You know what I mean? What if they say, you know what? You're going to lay your flat back. You're taking the ass whooping. What do you mean? Remember how Cena took all those suplexes from Brock? Yeah, it's going to be your turn. Cena going to open up a can of whoop ass. You are done. What?
Back to NXT.
NXT, right? I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, that's a whole other tangent, but you know how I feel about NXT. I like NXT. They want to push it as a brand, then you can't keep stripping guys and bumping them out and doing the whole thing and expect big sellouts. They're wondering why they didn't sell this one out. Well, they got all the big guys keep getting up and going. You have to send some people down. You got to use it sort of like a territory. You know what I mean? Some guys aren't doing it so great on Raw, SmackDown. Put them in NXT. Let them redo their gimmick. Change things up. You know what I mean? There's things you can do at NXT. And then they're just not doing it. They're using it still like a breeding ground. They introduce all these indie guys that come in, right? They give them some great matches, some feuds, so that way they could do a DVD set later on, and then they take them and bump them up. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, but it's like a revolving door. You know what I mean? It's like if you want to make this a real brand, people have to stay. They have to stay. And we're seeing some people come up and do diddly squat. You know what I mean? It's like, so if you don't know what to do with them, send the fucking guy back down. But don't see it as a down thing. See it as like you're going to NXT. Just like you're going to SmackDown, you're going to NXT. You know what I mean? There's good talent in NXT. So do it that way. Instead of having all these people fall through the cracks. Because that's what it looks like. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with Corbin. I think he's a decent guy, wrestling wise. I don't know personally. Could be a dick. Who knows? It's true. People could be like, yo, I don't even want to look at his face. Yo, I hate him, man. I hate him so much. I'm going to sleep with his girl. We don't know. We don't know what's going on backstage. We hear rumors, we hear this and that. That's just, that's just shit. But we don't know. That person spreading those rumors could be someone that's jealous of him. Yo, I'm going to say he's a piece of shit and he's gay and he's sleeping with his sister's cousin. I don't know. People spread bullshit rumors just to, get news out there. I just hope, things work out for him. He came up pretty quick if you think about it. I was thinking about like a lot of guys that came through there, but we know why, because he's a big dude, big guy. So you big, you get bumped. You get bumped up the line, So.
So we need to get Dana's thoughts real quick before we move to the next topic. Dana, what do you think of the Baron Corbin debacle?
To me, here's the thing, and I think I'm the only person who thinks this way. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. Like, I fell out laughing. I was dead. Here's the thing. I never liked Corbin. He's boring to me. About him is boring. He's not entertaining. He can't wrestle that well. He's just, to me, he moves awkwardly. He looks awkward. I don't like him. So for this to happen, I thought it was the funniest. It was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But remember, he won that Andre the Giant Battle Royal thing. I mean, they're trying to make him a big thing.
I was legit upset when he won. I was disappointed. So for him
to want to win that,
what, Kane to win?
Right? You want a Kane to win?
No, I don't. I didn't want him to win. I don't care who won. Literally, they could have brought back, Spike Dudley from the dead or something. I don't like him.
Spike is dead? What?
Wait, he's dead now?
What the?
killing off random people? I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Mr. Internet, tell me, did Spike Dudley die?
So let me just make a quick disclaimer in case Baron Corbin does watch this video. Baron Corbin, so you know who trashed you in this discussion. So you come after that person.
I don't like him. He's boring. I'm sorry. He does need to go to NXT. I hope that he did something terrible that like pissed off John Cena. And even the fact, to me, it made it even more funnier. And I thought that this was perfectly executed because John Cena has been involved in several incidents where people have failed to cash in the Money in the Bank. So I just thought that this was just the topping on this lovely like cheesecake that WWE was serving me. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Okay,
So
Spike Dudley's still alive. Woof.
Well,
Thank God.
oh, I'm sorry, Spike. I don't know. One of the others.
It's not him.
You're thinking Big Dick. Big Dick
Yes,
Dudley
Big
died.
Dick Dudley, yeah.
Yeah, he died.
There you go.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, they can raise him up from the dead and have him win.
He would get top billing because he is a big dude. So if they did, just from his size, he would definitely skip the line, even if he was The Walking Dead. They would like, yo, he smells bad. Doesn't matter. He's big. Look at him.
His name is Big Dick. And
I mean, if you think about it,
guys with big in the front.
Sort of looks like Braun Strowman. Big. Just with glasses. That was funny.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fairness to Corbin, I met him at WrestleMania last year. It's the sweetest guy. One of the best meetups I had was with Corbin. I wasn't expecting that. But I did laugh too when
yeah, and you hear a lot of these other guys that talk about, people that come in from other areas of sport and stuff and have no prior wrestling experience, and they always praise Corbin. They're like, yo, he wanted to learn. You know what I mean? He came in, he has jiu-jitsu background, he has boxing and also, but pro wrestling is its own thing. But he worked his ass off. Yeah, he's not perfect, but he's not hurting people in the ring, and he's got some devastating moves. At Deep Six, and then the other one, what was it called? Damn, the one where he swings them. I forgot the name of it. Yeah.
End of Days.
End of Days. You know what I mean? It's like you could easily hurt somebody with both of those moves. He's not hurting people. You know what I mean? He's doing it.
Just hurt people and like make it interesting.
Damn, why you hate him so much? Damn, he likes you. He's trying to make you happy. He's trying to entertain you.
But that's the point, though. You said all that stuff that he's great, good, sweet guy, sweet wrestler. But yeah, not today. That he isn't apparently. So yeah. maybe we'll hear a story in the future of she having a bad interaction with him, and that was why she don't like the guy now. We'll see.
Needs to go somewhere. Go to NXT. Work on a personality. Make me care about you.
They gave him a new entrance. They got rid of that motorcycle and they got rid of the wolf thing. Remember? Yeah, the Jag with the wolf, and they were calling him the lone wolf.
Yeah.
They stopped doing that. So.
They need to do something else.
All right, so that's I think that's enough for the Baron Corbin controversy. So very quickly, we're going to jump to the next topic. I'm going to say right now, I don't have anything to say on this topic because I don't know who this guy is, but Adam Cole has signed with WWE. I don't know if any of you want to speak on why this is good for WWE. And also you can answer the question for me of how long before Vince McMahon ruins this guy's reputation in the company?
It might be a little tough because Adam Cole can talk. Adam Cole's good on the mic. For those who don't know, I mean, he's been around for years. CZW, best known with Ring of Honor. He was Ring of Honor champion. Wrestled New Japan. The guy's worked with almost everybody. AJ Steen, Ricochet. He's done it. He was a champ for a while. Ring of Honor. I think I said that. Don't know. Part of Bullet Club. He was the Bullet Club rep as the leader of the Bullet Club for like the U.S. version. And there was a thing between him and Kenny Omega for a little bit. And then he's decent. I don't know. Personally, I was never super impressed with the guy's in ring, but he can talk. And that can get him far. He can definitely talk. He can definitely sell a match. He could work a match also. He's good. It just doesn't wow me. But the fact that he can talk, They can work with something with him on a gimmick. They could do something. I don't know if he's going to come in. I don't know if he even debuted yet as Adam Cole. I know he's in NXT because, they do these house shows, and they've been having, Bobby Fish and a few other guys from Ring of Honor. And then I saw some rumor, has to be a BS rumor. Don't think they would do this, but supposedly they're thinking of putting all these guys and making their own faction of like Ring of Honor in NXT. I don't know how far they can go with that. I don't know if they would. The only time I think that would even be possible is if they did have that deal with the owners of Ring of Honor. What's it called? The broadcasting company. Oh, man,
Sinclair,
because remember they were in talks with them to try to get their library to put on the WWE network. A lot of people are like, oh, they're trying to buy. No, they weren't trying to buy them. They just wanted to get the library so that way they can build that up. So yeah, maybe if they had that type of partnership, then it would sort of make sense. But then again, that's planting seeds and to the universe's mind about another promotion. They don't want to do that, So I could see them putting them together, but not doing any kind of weird outsiders type of thing, like with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, But he's going in there. He'll be great. He'll be great on the mic, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't see him as a big game changer. I don't see him like when Samoa Joe showed up. We knew that was it. He was going to be a big game changer, or AJ Styles, who just went straight to the main roster, And I wonder if that was in his contract. I really wonder with that because you see, it doesn't matter how big of a star you are. They're throwing you in NXT. And I wonder if that was the whole thing to lure AJ. It was like, all right, we want to bring it. I'm only going to the main roster. That's in the contract. I'm not going to NXT. I wonder because if you think about it, all the big names that they've signed, even Shinsuke, they all went to NXT. He's the only one that they signed that they just threw right there. They're like, nope, you're going to be in the Rumble. You're in. You got it. So what made him so special?
Hey,
I don't know.
He's phenomenal. That's what made him
special. Yeah, well, there you go. He's a phenomenal one. But I know from what they said, out of all these deals, he's the one that got the big multi-million-dollar deal. He's got the biggest money deal. Like they really wanted him. And it paid off. It paid off. Look, he's still up there. He's doing everything. He's still performing. Doesn't matter who they put him with, whether it's freaking Ellsworth and all that shit. He's still making everybody look good, and he's doing his thing. But Adam Cole, Adam Cole, baby. Yeah, whatever. We'll see. I mean, I'd rather see the Briscoes. That's my thing. I would love to see Jay Briscoe, great on the mic, wrestle. He's got the persona. Could easily be a champ, but that's not happening yet. And I say yet because eventually it will. But we got Adam Cole. I think he'll be okay. It all depends. It all depends. I mean, you see what they're doing with Marie and Mike Kanellis. That is horrible. That whole lovey-dovey thing. That's horrible. Mike can work. He's another guy. He was part of the Kingdom. He could work, but we're not seeing that. Right now it looks like it's all about her. And her interfering in his matches and making him just look like a scrub. It's bullshit. But what can you do? You sign the dotted line. They have creative control over your character or whatever they do, unless you have special, agreements like AJ. And I think Joe may have had some of that too, because I know Joe, one of the things that he used to talk about is like, yeah, he would love to go to WWE, but he feels that he's a brand. He is a brand. And the last thing he wanted, and remember at the time, it's something WWE did with all the guys they were picking from the indies. They rebrand you. They give you something else so they can own it. They want to own you, so they'll give you a gimmick. It's just past 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years, or say with the whole NXT thing when Triple H took over, where they're like, you know what, come in as who you are. This is what made you a star. Then that's who you are. It doesn't even mean like Bobby Fish. You guys know Bobby Fish? Maybe some people don't know Bobby Fish exactly, but they let him be Bobby Fish. You know what I mean? They could have just said, I don't know Bobby Fish. You know.
Oh, hey, yeah. So I don't think that Google knows exactly who you're talking about now because they messed up your connection. Are there any other thoughts? While Adam adjusts his connection, are there any other thoughts on Adam Cole signing?
I'll just say that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dana.
Go ahead, Dana.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that, I wish him well, and I hope he has a better fate than a lot of the other wrestlers that are.
But you see that they're.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah.
We'll go back.
Yeah. We'll come back to you. You froze for a second. We'll come right back to you. Go ahead, Dana. Continue. Or are you finished?
Yeah, no, I finished. I just said I wish him well, and I hope that they treat him a lot better than the other wrestlers have been treated.
Okay. All right, Ricky, go ahead and say what you was going to say.
I'll just say that I'm fully expecting the hottest free agent in wrestling, Mr. Adam Cole, to appear front row at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. That's probably what they're going to end up doing. I feel like that. I doubt that they're going to put him right on the main roster. I think he's going to NXT. So that's my prediction there.
Okay. I see that happening also. I don't know if they may have him well, we'll get into that in a little while because I don't want to talk about the NXT TakeOver stuff quite yet. But yeah, we'll get into that. Adam, is your connection okay now? All right, no, he's still adjusting. Technical difficulties.
Google's still adjusting to hearing.
Yeah. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. You know, this is a live broadcast, so it is what it is. Let's move on to the next topic because we definitely need to get into WWE 2K18. I'm pretty sure there's some people watching wondering when we're going to discuss that. So can we hear you now? I believe you're muted. All right, well, we'll see. He's working on it.
Oh, man.
Okay, Dana, you wanted to have a discussion on the dynamic duo of ridiculousness. That is Paige and Alberto Del Rio. So we're going to have a very quick discussion on this. Now, we did receive some news that Paige is supposedly returning to WWE in a couple of months. I don't know if there's anything specific on that. And we also know that Alberto Del Rio has been stripped of the GFW title. So wanted to get you guys' thoughts on these particular situations, whether or not you actually care about either one of these topics, because I'm about tired of Paige and Del Rio.
I guess I'll get started on this.
You can go first.
I'm really surprised that there was any kind of indication that Paige would return. I feel like she would be at the point of no return. But no, I mean, good for her if she can manage to make it back from all of this. At the very least, like the whole thing, the whole relationship with Del Rio looks like it's very volatile. So I don't know. I liked Paige when she was in WWE, so I wouldn't mind her returning and adding some more star power to the women's division. But she's got to be ready for it. She's got to be mentally, and physically ready for it. So see where that goes. As far as Del Rio, don't care. He's not my opinion. He got stripped of the title and at TNA. That's great, but that's.
Yeah, I agree. It's I really don't understand what they were thinking when they made him champion in the first place, knowing his history and all the other stuff that he's been doing. So yeah, got stripped. It's good. I'm glad he got stripped. Maybe it'll teach him a lesson. As for Paige, we'll see what happens with Paige when she returns. If she does actually return. Because I will mention, and we are gonna be talking about WWE 2K18 soon, but I did notice that she is also in the game as well. So we'll see what happens with her. Dana, did you have any thoughts on Paige or Del Rio?
Well, one is that Paige was ambushed for an interview, and she didn't give any details aside from and she's coming back in a couple months. I find it to be very interesting that during this entire time, WWE has not made a statement. We have not verified this. They have not denied this. So it's very interesting to see what's going to end up happening in the coming months with this thing. Surprised by Del Rio getting stripped from his title. You have to remember that he was stripped originally back in July from Paige's family's UK promotion. So the family has a lot of clout in the industry. And I do believe that this was like, something that the family took action upon on GFW and said, this is something that has to happen. My thing that it's really weird that I'm saying this is I want to actually applaud Alberto Del Rio. So far, we have not had any drunken statements. We have not had any type of angry tweets. We have not had anything that was volatile or any type of, somebody's after me and they want to see me and Paige broken up. So I really want to applaud him from this. He actually came out with a statement. He said that he understood him being stripped of the title. He agrees with this. And, he looks forward to whatever it is that may happen in the future. He didn't exactly apologize for anything that happened, but to me, that is the most macho, nicest, a little leaf over thing that has ever occurred in regards to him. So I am looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. But in all honesty, right now for me, I view it as wishful thinking on Paige's part. I don't know whether or not she is going to return. And even if she does, if it's a full capacity, or I don't know how long her contract may be. So it's her being included in the game. To me, it doesn't really mean anything because her contract is still not up. And for them to make this game has been, something that's been in a long time coming. So it happened where, things transpired within the year or so for them to make this game. So it is what it is.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I wish them well. I don't necessarily care about Del Rio, and believe me, there will be some more drunken behavior in the future because this is what I expect from this guy. But hey, listen, I wish them well. I don't really care too much about either one of them. Paige, it'll be interesting to see what happens when she does return to the main roster because I feel like there's a whole bunch of other people that they have their focus on now. So we'll see what happens. This Adam Vale, he's returned.
I'm back. All right. I did a quick reboot of my modem and router just to see.
Hey, that worked. It worked. Okay,
All right.
Adam. So real quick, before we get into the WWE discussion 2K, do you have any thoughts on Paige possibly returning in the next couple of months and Del Rio's being stripped of the GFW title?
The GFW, we knew that shit was going to happen. I mean, everything just pointed to it. It's good business. It just makes sense. You don't want that baggage, especially when you're doing a rebranding.
Yeah.
I mean, the last thing you want is people like, oh wow, GFW. All right, that's new. Who's the champ? Del Rio. The wife beater champ. What? The crazy? Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So they had to do it, But Paige, man, I don't know. She's smoking crack rock. I don't know what she thinks that they're just gonna bring her back and throw her on TV. But I know that she has a contract still. So, I mean, technically, she could just come back. Now, will they? No, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe, they're not big on all this drama, so they may just say, you know what, we'll just pay you out your contract, and they could do that, or they could just say, all right, we'll keep you on, you'll do appearances here and there, and that's it. Who knows? Maybe they'll send her to NXT to do something there. I mean, there's a bunch of things. We saw what they just did with Corbin, and I'm sure he didn't do anything as crazy as what she did with her husband or her fiance. No one knows. Are they married? They said March 25th they got married, but a lot of people saying they're not married yet. I don't know. We'll see. But
I don't think they are. I really don't. I think that was just something for show.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Yeah, I don't. Well, I hope for her sake they're not married. I mean, it's too much drama. She's too young for all this drama. And it's sad that she's going through all this, but it's life experiences. She's down here, her family's back in England, and it's tough. She's trying to find a place. So looking for love. But yeah, we'll see. Anything's possible. It's wrestling. It's the industry. It all depends on much interest they want, and I'm sure there's a big buzz already just because of all the drama with her. So if they really care about ratings and they want that shock value, I could see them pulling her, maybe on SmackDown or something, just to see what happens. If the ratings jump.
Oh, I think they would definitely jump.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's it. So that's what it comes down to, because it's all about business. So yeah, her husband said all that smack about Triple H and his nose and all that stuff. She didn't say anything in all of that. She's just with him. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, if you do come back, are you going to fulfill your agreement and you're just going to go on tour and do the whole thing like usual? Because, I mean, he's not coming with you. He's working for another promotion. And that's the other thing. You know what I mean? They're going to be separated. It's going to be it's going to be a very expensive relationship, because then whenever she needs to see him, she's going to be flying to wherever he's at, and he's going to have to fly wherever, back and forth. It's going to be complicated. So we'll see. That's why those relationships never work.
Oh yeah, I know. You're right. It's a lot. It goes a lot into all of that. One thing I want to say real quick, I would like to give a shout out to GM Bugs in the chat, because he said something very interesting, which I think is a good point. He said, why not have Paige in NXT and have that be like a comeback story, seeing how Asuka has no real competition. We are going to get into the NXT discussion though, but
wait, Bug, you got one thing though, because that means that they have to address her shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Okay, that means they have to address that, because we know it, you know it, but the whole universe may not know it. And how do you explain that? That there were some porn videos came out, and some current WWE Universe stars are involved, and her husband is Del Rio, or fiance, and he's on another promotion, and there's all this drama. That's too much. That's the thing. It's too much. So if they do bring her back, they're going to have to bring her back as if she was just out on injury. They're going to have to bring her back as like, oh, she's back from injury. But we've all learned this with the Lita and the Edge and Matt Hardy situation, where they were chanting slut, and all kinds of things to Lita, because people knew of the backstory between her and Edge, and how Matt got fired because of the drama, and Edge is, has a higher role in the company. It was a lot of bullshit, but they chanted her at her some offensive, shit constantly. So I could see some of that stuff maybe going toward Paige, but it's one of those things you don't know until you go out there and see what happens. So if she does come back,
I think the time is much different. I honestly can't even see the crowd chanting slut anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. I can't see it either. That's why I don't think it's going to be an issue. The only issue would be her relationship with Del Rio and how that's going to factor in. But I don't think it'll be an issue. I mean, she'll come out, she'll do her little thing. I think if she comes in NXT, that crowd is more accepting. They're very much in the know. And I think a lot of people will probably just say, welcome back, we got you a dildo. Welcome back, we got you. I don't know. They'll say something funny, but you know what? They'll be accepting of her. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing wrong with being a freak. Nothing wrong with that. You can't be blamed for that. You know what I mean? Why are we going to hate her for that? I'm not going to hate her for that. You know what I mean? Yeah. We don't hate Xavier Woods, and he was in it and another guy was filming. We don't hate him for that. You know what I mean? He didn't get reprimanded for being part of that video. It's like, it is what it is. Shit happens. You're on the road. Majority, they said 114 days out of the year. Come on now. Around the same people, shit's going to happen.
That's right. That's right. Well, we'll see what happens. Yeah. I mean, we'll definitely see what happens with Paige. If she's back in a couple of months, maybe she'll be back by the end of the year, and we'll see what plans they have for her.
I hope it works out, but she has to come in with a different mindset. Even before she left, she wasn't in the right state of mind, because she was on her high horse.
Yeah.
And that was shown constantly, like in front, backstage, other people talking about, she really felt like she was untouchable, because she was over with the crowd. She was selling merch. People like to see her. She's good in the ring, and she knew it. And a lot of these girls were green, so now it's not the same. Now Charlotte can hang, Becky Lynch can hang. Hell, even Bayley, I never saw that shit coming. They could all hang now. Of course, Sasha can hang. So it's like, all right, now you got some real people that can roll with you, So it's going to be tough, And I think they're going to throw her right in the mix, especially she hasn't wrestled. She's coming back from injury, You know, she's going to have to go into the performance center for a few months or so, like what they did with, I always forget the dude's name, the guy that was part of the Y family, the bald one.
Oh, Rowan.
Rowan was ready like 2 or 3 months ago, and they left him, well, before he debuted, 2 or 3 months, and they had him in a performance center, just rehabbing, working out, you know, until it was the right time to bump him up. You know, so the same thing's going to happen to her. Just because she's ready to go doesn't mean she's physically fit. We don't know if she's been going to the gym and stuff, you know, taking bumps. We don't know. So,
yeah.
It'll be time. It'll take time. You know?
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Now comes the discussion that a lot of people in here have been waiting for, including those that are watching. We need to talk about this WWE 2K18 roster, or some of the roster that was revealed today. Now, let me give a disclaimer right now. No, we are not 2K. We do not work on the game. This is all just our own opinions of what we have seen so far. Okay, now that I've gotten that out the way, IGN actually released a list today of the first 47 people that they have confirmed for the roster. They're going to be confirming more people each week, but this is the first 47 based on what we have seen today. So these are people that are confirmed. We have Bray Wyatt, Dolph Ziggler, Sami Zayn, Dean Ambrose, Baron Corbin, Kalisto, Akira Tozawa, Sin Cara, Hideo Itami, Eric Young, Jinder Mahal, the Bushwhackers, Ascension, Cesaro, Sheamus, the Club, which is Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, Nikki Cross, Alundra Blaze, yeah, Emma, Lita, Summer Rae, Paige, Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, British Bulldog, Buddy Roberts, Diamond Dallas Page, Big Boss Man, Mark Henry, Bam Bam Bigelow, Bret Hart, Dusty Rhodes, The Undertaker, Big Show, Andre the Giant, Kane, Diesel and Kevin Nash, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, Sawyer Fulton, Alexander Wolf, Killian Dane, Braun Strowman, and Goldust. Okay, so I just want to say something real quick about this list. Obviously, you know how IGN normally does these lists. They tend to release the bigger names towards the end of this thing. This is only week 1 of this list, so obviously there's a lot of people that they still need to announce that we already know are in the game. And we also got to see a video from Sanity today of how that looks, as well as the Club. So I just wanted to get you guys' initial thoughts on the first 47 people that they have announced, and whether or not you think some of those you're not really that excited about. So the first person I'm going to go to is, how about we go to you first, Ricky? What did you think of this list and that Sanity video that you sent me earlier today?
Oh, I got a kick out of the Sandy video. I actually thought that was well done as far as the entrance goes. It's actually so my disclaimer is that I'm not a fan of the WWE teams ever since Ukes have been a developer of it. I've bought a couple of them, and they've all been a bad experience for me for one reason or another. I won't bore you guys with details, but the one joy I get every year is seeing the entrances on YouTube and seeing how they've made improvements, if any improvements have been made, you know, with the entrances and how accurate they are to the real product. And I've only seen the Sanity clip, and I thought that was actually well done. That's really about the only compliment I have for WWE 2K18 at the moment. I will defer the rest of the discussion to you guys.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's fine. That makes perfect sense. And I will agree the Sanity video was good. I am holding out and waiting for the Finn Balor entrance because I have to say they messed up that entrance with the last game. And I say that as a fan of Finn Balor. I was disappointed. But we'll see. Dana, what are your thoughts?
I was just going to say real fast that one thing about the Sanity entrance that made me laugh was Nikki Cross running around the ring. I thought that was a nice little detail there. But I'm sorry, Dana, you can go ahead.
Oh, yeah, Dana. What are your thoughts on this roster and the videos?
I was bored. Aside from Sanity, like I'm so excited for Sanity. You have no idea how happy I am for that. But other than that, I was bored. He even released some screenshots. Everything looked nice and pretty, and it was all updated. And that's something that you should have. It's 2017. You should have updated, IAs, and everything should look pretty and glossy and more realistic. So I didn't really feel anything even when I saw the screenshots. I am kind of happy about Diamond Dallas Page, just because to me he's like the savior of wrestlers. So I was excited about that. I know that he's going to be there. And I'm excited. I'm so thrilled for Sanity. I'm so thrilled for Eric Young, just because I've been watching him since he started in TNA, and to see him now, even though he aged horribly, that I'm just so happy. So other than that, it's just meh. It's a meh.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, Adam, so what are your thoughts?
Never really cared about the entrance. That's fine. It's great for the first 2 times, but I turn that shit off. Because when you start putting in a lot of time doing matches and stuff, it just takes so much time in loading. And I get things digital, and I want, I put in my own hard drive. I want this to be fast, and still it takes a long time to load. So I don't really care too much with it. It always looks great. I like the way they look. I had no issues with the 17, how that looked, and 16, how they looked. Yeah, some guys look weird. The hair looks like Medusa's hair at times, right? 17, it looks like it's moving on its own. The guy's just standing there, and you're seeing Bray Wyatt's hair move all over the place. I'm like, what's going on? But, besides that, it's cool. My whole thing with it is just give us just an update. That's all. I want this game to work. I want them. If you look at the genre it's in sport. Okay, it's a sport. 2K advertises as it's one of its sport games. Okay, it's one of your sport games. Then treat it like a sport game. If a wrestler or somebody, or just like when the pro basketball team guy moves from one team to another, and then an update comes in, they swap him. Do those type of things. And that's what we really want. Yeah, the game looks great, but we want everything to just be more like the show. They keep trying to make it like the show. Then help us. Move people around. If the guy, I don't know, change his hair color, do it. Change his hair color. I remember when Seth Rollins, he was already the champ. He had his own new gimmick with the authority and stuff, and he still came out with the Shield stuff. Remember when that came out? I was like, yo, what are you doing? He's not in the Shield. Same thing with Roman Reigns. It's like they're behind on stuff, and it's annoying. Yeah, this time it looks like they've made some changes with that. It looks like, you know what? They actually listened to people, and they started throwing in what's going on in the current product, at least with the roster, which I hope they continue. I hope when we see the next, I think it's like, 3 more days or 3 more weeks of roster reveals, they said?
Yeah, 3 more weeks.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people to include. Fine, add in the Bushwhackers. I don't know who plays with them. I don't care. I never do. Don't care. But just add more relevant. That's it. More relevant guys. We still don't know what's the story with 205. Is that going to be a thing? We know NXT is going to be a thing. We don't know about the DLC. Most of you guys know I'm a big Aleister Black fan. If we go based off of 2K and then the Yucks and their whole history of DLC, he will be DLC. They had Samoa Joe. Everybody wanted Joe back in 2016. They made him DLC. Everybody wanted Shinsuke. They made him DLC. So, I can see Aleister Black as being the DLC, unless they think Bobby Roode, which I now think about, I doubt, because he is a champ. That would really suck if you're making the current champ DLC. But we know they're going to do DLC. They do it, and it's not going to be what they used to do, which is like a lot of throwback guys. We're seeing the Bushwhackers, DDP, all those guys. They're already in there. So that means that the DLC is going to be guys that we actually want to see. And that's kind of sucks, kind of okay. I don't know. I'm still on the fence with some of that shit because I think about this. We just talked about Adam Cole. Adam Cole going to be in the game? Of course not. Too new. But what if he gets a cool gimmick, does the whole thing, and they say, hey, we're releasing him as a special DLC. If I'm a fan, maybe I'd jump on it. You know, those type of things they should think about. You know, because think about it. Once this game comes out, it's a one and done. That's it. You know what I mean? It's like they don't do any more updates. They just release those DLCs. That's it. You know, they should do some updates. I understand they said the superstar shakeup, not in it. The draft, not in it. Okay, fine, not in it. But when those things happen, what's stopping 2K from releasing a patch that or an update that just moves those guys around from the roster, you know, in the WWE Universe mode, so that way we don't have to do it.
Wait a second. I can answer that question. I know what's stopping them.
What's stopping them?
Laziness.
Nice. There you go. You know, and that sucks. But it could be a combination of things because, I mean, you hear these stories. Remember, that game only has 1 year to turn around. Hell, they don't even have a full year, really, you know, because then once this game is out and they have everything packaged, they got to start working on the next one, you know, and it's the same studio. It's not like they have multiple studios like Activision with the Call of Duty brand, you know, and that's another downfall. You know, because if they did have a certain group that wasn't just posting things on Twitter of like, oh, look at Raw, you could reenact these matches. I don't give a shit. You know, how about, oh wow, look, we're going to actually make these things match up. You know, have a live mode. You know, like people that are into EA Sport games know what live mode is, which is just a reflection of the actual leagues and what's going on. If a team has an injured star player, when you play in live mode, that star player, he's not selectable. He's hurt, you know, and the same thing. They should have an option. Turn on live mode for the universe mode. Okay, turn it on. Boom. When I start Raw, if Brock is out on his vacation farming or doing whatever in Canada, then I don't see him on any of my shows. He's not doing run-ins against Cena or anybody because he's out. You know what I mean? Change things up in that way. You know, there's a bunch of things they can do, but it takes time and it takes money because you got to pay somebody to put in the time, and I don't see them doing it. You know, it's like I said it last time. It's like they see this game as a toy. You know, it comes out every year. You know, it gives the people what they want of just like that fix of playing wrestling at home and do the whole thing. But do they really care about it as a sport? No, they don't. You know, because if they did, we would have a lot of stuff that I already just said. You know, because then it'd be respected as a sport. You know, I mean, they play on that fence of like it's a sim. You know, they have the whole weight differential of if you create a guy, can you pick up the big guys? You know, you're not gonna have a Rey Mysterio picking up a Big Show. Okay, get it. You have all the stats going in and all, but then you're not treating it with the full love that it needs to be treated with when it's considered like a sim. Because then a sim means simulation of what you see. Well, I'm not seeing what I see in my damn game. You know, so make those tweaks. Make those tweaks. You know, and if they're really smart about it, make a really good version. Make those tweaks. We see how games they could always add things in, and then make like one main version, and then just keep updating that. They can do that. You know, make it a bi-yearly thing. So you know what? You get 2018. We're gonna do all these little updates. Maybe they pay with the season pass. Maybe they throw in some other free stuff. Drags off a whole year where it's just part of that, and then a year goes by past that one, and then we'll get a new version. We'll get a 2020, not a 2019, because then that'll give them time to develop something new, a new engine or some new interesting things, instead of just hashing out everything that they're spitting to us now.
Exactly.
You know?
One quick thing to say. Again, we had GM Bugs in the chat. He asked about the servers because he says they need to definitely fix the servers.
Broken, Bugs. You know it. It's broken. I don't even bother with that shit. He knows it. He knows it. We all know it. That shit is broken. How many times have you started to search for a singles match, a damn singles match, and you're doing the regular match in the universe, and it's like searching for a match, can't find a match, or you connect, and then it disconnects. You know, it's got problems. And forget about doing Rumble matches and all those other modes that they have. You know, I don't even bother. I don't even bother. It's broken. Unless you're doing a private match with a friend, that's the only time it ever really works. You know, that's the only time I use it. And the truth, the only online component that I use is that community. Community center, it's awesome. You know, the creative wrestler, awesome. There's a bunch of things they could bring back, like add in the ability to add in your own music. Remember when they had that, where you can add your own soundtrack? That was awesome. because then I would load in all the original songs that they had when I created my guy, and they come out with their theme song from whatever promotion they were in. That was cool. I don't know why they took that out. They did. They took it out. Even some of the other things with like creating the videos and modifying the videos, they took a lot of that stuff out. So, and even now with the voice recognition that we have and all the different tools of where you can just, text to type, type to text, why is it that we still have to go off of these generated names? Why can't we just type in the letters and it just says the name? You know what I mean? Just put that software in it. So if I want, I don't know, Joe Black, I don't have to go Joseph Black because they only have Joseph. They don't have Joe. You know what I mean? Come on now. Let me type in Joe. Have your automated system just say Joe Black. You know what I mean? Come on now. I don't get that.
Well, I just have one question. So this game is coming to just the current consoles and the Switch, right? It's not coming to 360 and PlayStation 3, is it?
They haven't. No, it's not coming. They haven't said that. This is like a big change for them too. But it's also coming to PC.
Okay, so my thought is because it's coming to the current gen stuff, there's a lot of stuff that should be improved. And what you said, that issue about the names loading, that should happen very quickly. But we'll see what happens.
And that's why just like if people are like, oh well, we haven't seen much of this, and this is it. Remember, you said some people saying, well, this is what happens. This is how they think. No, because in all these sports series, we've all talked about. And again, I'm saying sport because that's the genre they have it in as sport. And 2K advertises that one of their sport games in their sports series collection of games. And you list all these features. They always did. I remember before. They used to do this thing where they would have like community discussions. What do you want? What would you like in this? And I remember people posting some of the things I talked about, and I guess they just scratch those off. Nope. What? Oh, you want backstage brawls to come back? We can do that. We have that coding already. We can do that. It's shit like that that pisses me off because they know the improvements they need to go in. I'm not expecting something amazing like, get everybody to do voice work for the story mode. Not going to happen. You know what I mean? That would be massive. That would be horrible. But give these other improvements. Add these other things in.
Well, let me just stop you right there real quick because I have a comment that I would like to make. What you said, you're right. Having that one voice, that wouldn't be possible. However, if the story mode, if Vince decided, let's make a story mode for Roman Reigns, I guarantee to you everything will be in that story mode. You'll have Reigns talking, yep, say yes. And it's very easy to say the same line over and over again.
Yep.
This is my yard. This is my yard. This is my yard. This is my yard.
I'm the big dog.
I'm here for the big fight.
Yeah, so it's possible, if Vince,
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the front cover next year's.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised he wasn't on this year. They had.
I was surprised. I was definitely surprised. Yeah. And that's the other thing they haven't talked about. It's like, you have the high guy come out, last week, showed a view, hey, look at this view I got. All right, this is going to be, and it's like, it's horrible. How could you put this guy to represent your company, talking about this? It was so bad. I did not like that. Disapprove, throw in some energy. But really show us what we want. It's the features. We want to know what's in there, not just match types, but just the whole integration. What's going on behind the scenes? How is this all going to work? Do we have the story mode back or the showcase mode? What's going on? What is all this stuff? They're still keeping us in the loop. Like it's just like not telling us any of this shit. We want to know the info. I mean, you show this commercial of this guy Seth Rollins smashing all this Hall of Fame shit. What the hell does that mean? What are you telling me? You know what I mean? Explain that much. We don't even know.
That you liked previously is gone. They smashed it and destroyed it.
Prove it.
Hey.
You just it.
Well,
they're not in there.
Oh, and then somebody's spreading some bad, nasty rumors. I heard a really bad, nasty rumor, and it got me mad. And please, I hope if anybody is watching it, please tell me this is bullshit. That there's another deluxe package or something that's coming with RVD and Batista. That they're not in the game, but they're like as a weird DLC for like bonus something. Anybody hear about this? See, there you go. Good.
I definitely didn't hear about this one.
Okay, good. I hope that was bullshit. I was like that would suck. No, that would suck. I don't know. For me personally, DLC, when it comes to the wrestlers, should be new wrestlers, people that have not been in the game. Don't take a guy that was already in the game out and make him DLC like Kurt Angle. You know you have his motions, you know you have everything because the dude hasn't wrestled for them in years. You know, he still hasn't wrestled. So you're just gonna rehash all that stuff. Putting him in as DLC, I mean, as a the pre-order bonus, that's still bullshit. It's bullshit because you have all this stuff. He hasn't done anything new. What, unless he's gonna come out in a suit because that's all we've seen him do. You know what I mean? So that's smack in the face. Don't want to see that. No, whatever. I'm mad. It gets me mad. I want this game to be good. I don't want to hate on this game, but it's like year after year they take things out, they put things in, they make things worse. You know, and I'm not asking for anything special. You know, I don't want magic to happen. I just want consistency with the upgrades and just to put it on the same playing field as all the other sport games out there. At least the sport sims out there. You know. Keep these rosters updated. Make sure that, you know, and I'm saying rosters just like teams. Raw's a team. SmackDown's a team. NXT is a team. You know what I mean?
205 Live.
205 Live, if they add that, is a team. If, you know, you have a big pay-per-view and then, freaking, I don't know, Jinder jumps to Raw and says he's going to turn. I want an update Monday morning, and Monday morning it shows that he's now on the Raw. How hard is it behind the scenes to do? Because it's not that hard for me to go in to do it. You know, go into universe mode, go to edit, go change things. It's just time consuming for me to do it. Why should I have to do it? You created the damn game. Do it. You know? I told you guys, I spend too much time fixing the damn thing once it comes out just because I want things to be right when I do the universe mode. I enjoy universe mode, but I want it to be right. You know, I don't want everything to be outdated from whenever they decided to write that mode. You know?
Adam, you totally triggered me, man, because saying all this brings back memories of, like, me playing the WWE games and ranting to Rich about all the stuff that they should be putting in the game or all the stuff that they had in the game they took out, and they brought it back later and said, oh, well, we're listening to the fans now, and you asked for it, and we brought it back. And
that's what I said last episode with Rich. I'm like, they bringing shit back. It's like, yo, who told you to take it out? No one told you to take it out. You know what I mean? Why did you? Are you running out of space on the disc? What is going on? Because now everything is digital. I mean, hell, I remember when Master Chief came in, and that was almost 100 gigs that had to down the Master Chief collection. You know what I mean? It's like things are huge now. Don't tell me it's a space thing. You know what I mean? You could add all this shit in. You know, it's just that I believe, and I talked about it in the last episode, that they have a bunch of features laid out, picture a bunch of cards, and then they just pick 3 or 4 cards and they put them in, and they take 3 or 4 cards out, and they keep swapping it around in every generation of these games. So then that way it's like, oh yeah, you wanted this back, we put this back. Oh, you know, people didn't think this was interesting, so we took it out. That's why it's out. And then next iteration, oh, you know what? Due to popular demand, we brought it back. You know what I mean? Stop the bullshit. Stop. You know what I mean? It's like, leave everything in there. Fucking jam pack it. Remember with 15, they had the smallest roster. What was it? Like 50 wrestlers in that one. Remember?
Yeah,
people flipped out. They flipped out and they heard them. And what did we get? We got like over 150 people. Remember, they were like, here, take everybody. Who cares? We'll put them in. And it's the same goes with the modes. You have them all. You've been doing this for years. The one studio has been doing all of this. You know what I mean? You have it all. Put it, leave it in there. Tweak it, leave it in there. You know what I mean? The Inferno match, put it in, leave it in. Somebody wants to do it. You know what I mean? Flaming tables, somebody wants to do it. You know, leave all this stuff in. You know, just have it all in there because it just improves the game. You know, because then people know it's like, oh, wow, everything that I like is in here and more stuff. They're not just taking shit out and maybe they'll put it back next time. You know, fighting in the crowds and all that stuff, that should always be there. That's just it. You know, some people like to do it. You know, no holds bar match, go find the crowd, do it. All right, whatever. I'll take it.
Right. Also, in regards to the Rob Van Dam and Batista, it's going to be available in the Legends collection and also in the deluxe edition.
See? Well,
So, yeah, so that's what you get. Remember, the deluxe edition is going to have the season pass It's going to also have like a mode where you can recreate all of John Cena's appearances, especially during the ECW One Night Stand 2006 and the WrestleMania 26. And it also has access to the Kurt Angle pack, which includes 2 playable versions of the Olympic Hero. And you also get that a piece of the world title from the Royal Rumble 17, as well as a hand-signed photo of John Cena himself.
Yeah. So
And
how much is all that? How much is all that?
it's $149.99.
Do they have a layaway plan? Do they have some kind of a barter system? Because that's a lot of bullshit that I have to pay $150 for. Oh
There's
my
only,
lord!
there's only 30,000 copies, so that's the only
Shit, they can
reason.
keep all those damn copies. Nobody buy that shit. Nobody buy that shit. Don't do it.
He's a guardian now, so that's what they're hoping for.
Yeah. Oh please, please. No. Is he gonna come out blue? No, he's not. Okay, is he gonna come out with the crowd booing him? Because the last time I saw him wrestle, crowds booed the shit out of him, and that's it. But Rob Van Dam, again, Batista and Rob Van Dam, you have all of this. They're not new. You're just again taking shit out and pushing it back at us like it's new.
They did that in WWE 2K14 with Ultimate Warrior as a DLC. They used the same exact model as they did in a previous WWE game.
Always do it. And you know what? There's nobody to call them out on it because no one gives a shit. You know what I mean? It's like people just go out and buy it because it's the only game on the market, at least wrestling game.
Oh, and also with the Deluxe edition, you get to play it on October 13th, which is a Friday.
Don't even care.
The 4-day early thing that they have. NBA.
There's a whole lot of nothing for me. 4 days early, don't give a shit. How about give it to me the day that I order it? The day I order it, I get. If I order it right now, I should get it right now. Then that'll be something. But no, 4 days, no, don't care. Don't stop.
There will also be physical playable collections. So, like, I guess figures.
Does John Cena come to my house and play a co-op game with me? Does he play tag team with me too for one match? Do something like that. You know what? That's what I would like. I would like a code. I would like something like this. If you're gonna charge $150 freaking for a bunch of bullshit, throw in something like we know Xavier. We know a lot of people that play wrestling games. Have it where since they're a limited amount of how many did you say?
30,000.
30,000. Maybe that's too many. But have it to the point where some of these versions have a code, and that code says that a wrestler will send you a message at a certain time and date, and you can play in a tag match or do something with them and actually play with them. I could see Xavier Woods doing it. I could see a lot of the guys in wrestling doing it. That would be awesome. That would be fun.
For like if they did like a Switch for the Switch edition, an amiibo.
Don't give them ideas like that. Are you kidding me? Give them ideas like, well, what's wrong with you? Did you not see what they're doing now with their amiibos and attaching hard mode and difficulty and all this other bullshit to me? They're trying to force people to go buy it just to get content, new outfits and stuff. Don't give them those ideas.
Let's edit that out.
Edit that shit out. No, there's no way. Amiibos. Can you imagine that? What if they came up with a CM Punk amiibo? Oh my lord!
But they did say that they're going to have some form of a physical, a figure that you'll have to play with.
That's going to be tough because doing the amiibos and then with Jack Pacific or whoever they have, WWE has a contract when it comes to toys. So I don't. It's going to be that's a mess right there. I don't see how they're going to get around that.
I don't know about that.
Right? It's going to be tough. I don't see them letting Nintendo get into the toy market with them like that because then that undercuts their whole business. Every year we see new WWE. Hell, they just did a zombie series. Zombies. The hell does zombies and wrestling have to do? Last time I saw a zombie in wrestling was on ECW when they showed up on the Sci-Fi Channel. You remember that when the first episode and they had a guy come out ooh, like a zombie.
And CM Punk.
Yeah, CM Punk. Yeah. He wasn't a zombie, was he? No, he wasn't a zombie.
Oh.
No, he was zombies.
He beat the zombie. So yeah, I don't see that happening.
So I'll just say this. Very glad to. I mean, yeah, the sanity entrance was okay, as you mentioned earlier. I guess we'll have to wait and see who else gets revealed. Well, Ricky, you about to say something or show something rather?
So this game,
yeah,
the last WWE game that I bought,
I have that one.
16, 120 plus unique superstars, but like fucking 8 versions of Austin in the game. Like not a whole lot of unique. Not really a whole lot of unique wrestlers. And I remember that I obsessively had to update the rosters on that by hand, downloading them from Community Creations, changing the brand, all that stuff, because 2K won't do it. Exactly to the point that you made. 2K won't update it. So I did that myself. And I'm talking about that within the year, from the time that they sold it to the time that they started selling 2K17, that period of time, I had to obsessively update this myself and doing community creations and all that, because they wouldn't freaking do it on 2K. And that's when I can actually download, because there's so many errors when trying to download these creator wrestlers and all that stuff, that I would have to start over and do it again. And that was just on my frustration with that. That was on my frustration with WWE 12 when I had that on the Xbox 360. That was, and I was at least happy that there was a community creations thing on these platforms, because I remember the first Ukes game that I got was SmackDown versus Raw 2006. I blame you for that, Richard, because I saw you playing that, and I said, "Oh, that looks pretty cool. I want to get that." I got the game. I wasn't that thrilled by it, but I gave WWE 12 a shot. I was very disappointed with the servers. I thought that by 4 years later, they would get their shit together and be like, okay, THQ is not doing it anymore. It's 2K, and 2K does a very good job with NBA. So I figured they'll give WWE the same treatment. Not the case at all.
I don't think they really have much involvement, now that I think about it. I mean, I think they're just acting like the publisher for WWE games. They're not really getting involved like they are with the NBA series and stuff.
Yeah,
that's a shame.
It is a shame.
So in other words, they should give the license to Visual Concepts, because those are the guys that work on NBA 2K.
They need others involved. You need fresh eyes, is what we're saying. It needs something, because when they first launched on 2K, that was their redesign. Because remember when they changed it to make it more sim-like, and they changed the camera angles and stuff, and it had that different feel. So they were already going in that direction. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, they need to put it more, but we don't know the sales numbers on these things. We don't know how well it sells. Maybe it's always turning a profit the way it is. And we talked about this part before. There's no competition. You got Fire Pro Wrestling, but that's a different type of wrestling game. So when it comes to this type of level, there's no competition. We don't have a New Japan one. We don't have a Ring of Honor. We don't have any of that. So it's like, take it or leave it.
I always speak fondly of AKI when they did the wrestling games for WCW and then for WWE on the N64. I remember that with WCW and W Revenge, you can actually change the wrestler's stable. You switch them between tables and all that stuff. Yeah.
It had Raven. Remember Raven?
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, those were the days.
Those are the days. But that's what I'm saying. It's sad. We don't have anyone else to jump in on this game, on this genre. And whatever. So all we could do is hope for the best. And I could tell everybody, I don't want this to fail. I want it to be a good game. I get these games every year. So I'm like, yeah, it should be good. But I'm always disappointed. This one was the most disappointing. 17 was the most disappointing. And also the career mode. Whoever plays the career mode knows that shit sucks.
Yeah.
Too damn long. You know, hell, like Xavier Woods just did a whole video bitching about it himself. It's like, yo, why is it that I keep beating the #1 contender and I never rank up? You know what I mean? It's like, it's such a grind. It's one of those games, it just grinds you. It's like forcing you to play this. You know, it's why? Why? It's not fun anymore. You know, it sucks. You know, and did I tell you? Did I tell you what happened when I got the belt? Did I tell you recently? So I got so when I first started career mode, once you create your guy and you have to do all the rankings and the leveling and the building, all that bullshit, I got the NXT belt. Right? Then I realized that it didn't unlock Paul Heyman's guy. Paul Heyman's guy is like a whole other section. So I'm like, damn, I want to see what's in there. So then I had to go and try to get the WWE Universe belt or the WWE Championship belt. So I went over on SmackDown and tried to do that. Spend hours, days, weeks. Finally, I get it. It unlocks. I'm hyped, right? It's a little video trailer, and it's like, yeah, now you get to do the Heyman stuff. I'm like, all right, this is going to be great. He's going to come down me. No, it's a whole list of more ridiculous challenges. Like, oh, win the Royal Rumble 3 times, you know, win and lose your belt like 3 times, and all this, too. I'm like, this is more grinding. Win and lose the belt. You know how long it took me to win this one? And now I have to lose it and then try to win it back 2 more times? What the hell is wrong with you? You know what I mean? I'm like, this. I did not believe I just spent all this time to unlock a mode just to give me more stupid challenges.
That's ridiculous. I didn't know that. I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
wow.
It's. I was like, this is not what I expected. I thought it was going to be like, he's going to come down with me. It's going to be like a weird mini story and stuff. And, you know, maybe it'll put me in a stable with Brock or do something like that. Nope, none of that. I had to prove myself by doing all these other challenges that I could be a Paul Heyman. And then you know what I did after that? Shut the shit off. That's what I did. And I was like, I'm done. You took enough of my life away from me, enough of my time. I'm going to go play with my kids because this is bullshit.
Wow. Well, I never heard that story, but to know that now, because I was in the career mode, now to know that, I'm not going to bother.
Yeah, that's it. And it's locked the whole time, right? So you have to go and get one of the big titles. You can't just get like the NXT title. I thought, you know, that'll be it. You know, and for those wondering, I use Pentagon Jr. That's right, Pentagon Jr. You know, so I used him and I maxed him out. He's 95. No, he's all maxed out. Got all my moves, got everything, and still, I was like, this is whack. You know, you can win every match. You can win every match. I put it, you know, I had it on hard. Win every match. You would think it would help you rank up. Nope. You can be number 9 on there, and you beat rank number 1, number 2, and you still won't rank up. Just drag. And it keeps forcing you to sell T-shirts and to change your outfit. I don't want to change my outfit. Like, no, you have to change your outfit. And then I saw a flat line when it came to my sales. I was like, this sucks. You're forcing me. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Well, so I hope that there are some changes coming with 2K18. We'll see. We'll see. We'll try to remain somewhat optimistic, but we also have to keep it real and expect disappointment.
Well, really quick.
Yeah.
That it'll depend on what you want, depending on which edition you get. So according to which mode, like story or career, it depends really on which edition you have.
Whoa, wait.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Wait, are you telling me that there's certain modes that are only available in the certain versions that you buy?
Yeah, they really want to push this John Cena one. So yeah. Sorry.
I'm out. I'm not even getting this shit. Thank you. I'm done.
Yeah, okay. That's some new.
That's going to cause controversy everywhere because we have never seen that in any game. They all have different tiers and they give you bonus stuff. We never seen actual modes not included, you know, based off.
Yeah,
of that.
it looks like, but it seems something to do extremely with like more of the one. Like, obviously, it's going to be, like, you know, certain content you're not going to have, like the digital stuff and the super cards.
Now, I can understand if those are, like, I remember when they did the showcase editions and stuff like that. Now, this is probably going to be, there has to be an option for people to buy it later on that didn't get one of those, because that would be horrible.
Yeah, that would be. But remember, I think they're going to do a lot of the DLC like, you can buy it separately, but you won't have the access to it right away. pay the standard one. But if you was to buy even the deluxe edition, which is going to be $89.99, then you can get it right away.
Why don't they just hang people upside down by their legs or shaking the money out of their pockets? Because that's what they're doing right now. This is bullshit.
Trying to create a revenue.
Hell? A revenue. Damn. You know what? Revenue. You know what? Think about it. All right, forget the, scrap the season pass model or rename it and do something else with it. If they were to, for that same price, say, hey, you're going to get updates throughout this year, like what we said with the roster updates, we'll make the tweaks, we'll do that. Hell, if the Joe Schmo #1 comes out with a black t-shirt and then he changed to a white t-shirt, he'll have a white t-shirt, we'll do all that. It'll be worth it. At this price range, none of it's worth it. None of it's worth it.
Yeah,
go ahead. They overhauled the crowd, so when you do play as John Cena, you get the "Let's Go Cena, Cena Sucks" chant.
They added chants in the last two. When you're Paige and she does a scream, you would hear that. And when certain people came out, you would hear them. RKO, RKO.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that. See, again, nickel and diming us. All that stuff should be in the game. Don't tell me this is all in just some special edition version. No. So then what are we getting? What is the game including then? If it's just going to be all the same guys that we saw in the last one, minus a handful of new names. People are like, oh, the club. The club was in the last one too as DLC. So they're not new.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see what happens.
Oh, wait till it's in a bargain bin. Now I'm upset. Now you got me mad, Dan. Dana, you got me mad.
I think there will be, obviously, I want to see how they when they talk about all this stuff, how they phrase the wording to see exactly how they try to cover up some of the stuff. But
because people are going to be upset, especially a lot of the little kids that still like Cena. You think their parents are going to go out and spend $150 on that shit?
Absolutely. If the parent is stupid, they will spend that type of money.
You could be stupid, but you're not gonna be that dumb when you go into the store and be like, all right, I want the one with the Cena toy. Oh, the 150. The what? How much? No, Timmy, you're getting the regular version. In fact, you're getting last year's version.
All they have to do is tell them, hey, so I get this for you. You ain't getting nothing else for Christmas. That's it. No other gifts, no toys, nothing.
Nope, they're not gonna want that. Want that? Think about $150 for that shit.
Yeah, that's right.
No,
but I will say this. I will say this, and we do need to move on to the next topic. After the news that happened today, I'm not going to venture off topic, but I do want to say this real quick. After the news that happened today, well, some people will buy this because they damn sure are not buying the Xbox One X. Because there are no games for the Xbox.
Oh, my Crackdown. Don't bring that up. Why you got damn, just keep kicking me in the groin. That hurt. Crackdown. Man, I swear, this Agent of Mayhem bullshit. Everybody knows it's bullshit. It's crap. Co-op, you need co-op. And I got into this with Tony. I'm like, there's a difference between multiplayer and co-op. Co-op is just an online version of couch co-op. You know what I mean? It's just opening up. So that's what made Crackdown awesome. You play Crackdown? Crackdown was awesome that way. You could turn it on and off. I turn it on when my boys are coming. We jump around. We throw shit. We get in the cars. I throw the car. You know what I mean? It's fun. Agent Mayhem didn't have any of that shit. You know what I mean? It's like you have to manually swap. It's not fun. It's not fun. So the whole point is when I'm waiting for Crackdown, and now to find out it's not coming until next year, could be good, could be bad. It's bad for them, and it's bad for me. I'm hoping it's not complete shit. And that's why they didn't push it back. It's like, yo, this game is broken. We can't release it. It is broken. And I don't want to hear that. But hopefully this gives them enough time to fix it, even though they had years already in development. Something bad's happening. And I don't like it.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see. I didn't want to go too off topic, but I had to throw that joke in there. I had to take a jab at Microsoft because this has not been a good year for Microsoft. But we'll see what happens.
This hasn't been a good couple of years. That launch was the worst.
Yeah, you're right. But hopefully, 2K is watching this so they don't mess up the wrestling series too bad so it gets to be to that level. But
we need to look at the numbers. We have to look at the sales numbers. Every time these games come out, I never really see it in the top 10.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's selling like hotcakes, you know. And so I don't. I guess maybe for what they're putting in is what they're getting. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we're on a limited budget. This is what we can do, and this is what you're gonna get. You
Yeah.
know, and we just have to, you know, accept it. This is not, even though they're saying it's a sport, it's one of the lower sports. It's not up there with like basketball, golf, and football and soccer. It's not up there. So we can't expect all those cool features, you know, the modern features.
I remember being really bullshit about the whole DLC with the wrestlers, with them adding them after, and with, you know, I think it was at WWE 12 at the time that some people from THQ were very defensive about the DLC, and it's like, you know, oh, a lot of effort goes into these you know, wrestlers, and we're adding them onto the game. They weren't already originally in the game, which is a load of bullshit, because I remember that there was a DLC that I got, and the total download size was like 200 kilobytes. You mean to tell me that a wrestler, a fresh new wrestler, is only 200 kilobytes? It's just a fucking key that unlocks the wrestler that's already in the disc. You know, like it's full of crap. So like I don't like that at all. It just feels like a shadier version, a much shadier version. At least what Killer Instinct does. They have a very interesting business model where it's like, we'll give you a fighter, you know, every week or however long it is, or every month, and then if you want to pay for the rest, you can pay for them individually and all that. What it seems like with these 2K games is, we're going to give you a starter version. We're going to give you a demo version that you're going to pay $60 for. And if you want the full fucking game, you need to pay another $90 in DLC to get everything that's already on the fucking disc. It kills me. I don't want to get into any of that stuff. So
I agree. Yeah, I agree. But you know, we'll see what happens. I know, like I said, some people will buy that $150 version. I'm pretty sure Dana will pre-order that as soon as they have.
The only one I know, that I know that's sold.
People are asking about will there be crowd fighting? That would be a no.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean crowd fighting?
They don't want to encourage that.
Wait, fighting with the crowd or seeing fights in the crowd?
Fights in the crowd is they had the fighting in the crowds in the last game.
In 2K17, so they took that out.
It's looking like it doesn't even look like it's happening.
Uh-oh. Well, hey.
Jeez. Surprised they took another feature out.
Yeah. We'll see about that. I mean, yeah, I did see them mention in that chat that there's going to be another one of those 2K video spotlights, I guess, tomorrow. So we'll have to see what they talk about. You know, we'll see.
Why don't they spotlight all the shit they take out?
Crowd so much.
Say what?
I said it would be a shame if they don't have it, because they improve the crowd.
Yeah. They improve the crowd, the lighting. You know, the fact that you can before you could always break through the barrier, but now you could throw the guy over, and then you could jump over, and you could fight and do stuff. I mean,
yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. I don't know, but stay tuned for more details, I guess.
Backstage stuff they could take out. I've never liked backstage stuff. Never liked the backstage part. It was pointless.
So some people liked it in the last game, so they're probably going to leave that in there to some extent.
If they're doing they're swapping the cards again, the features take in and take out. Oh man, whatever.
Yeah, they'll leave that in, and they'll take out King of the Ring, since they didn't do that correctly last year either. But you know, it's something. We'll see. We'll be watching that closely.
We're gonna get the Punjabi prison. That's what we're gonna get. That bullshit.
Oh no,
we won't be able to.
That definitely won't be in there.
That would be a nightmare.
The India edition.
Yeah,
man. The India edition gets that right.
Probably.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so let's we have two other topics to get into very quickly. So let's see if we can get through these topics. We need to talk about NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. in the matches that they have already announced. Now, I don't know if there was another match that was added because I didn't watch NXT tonight. Haven't been watching much. We'll say what?
I said shame.
Hey, listen, I watched some NXT, but not really as interesting as it used to be because all the people that I wanted to see get called up, they got called up. It's like, you see this girl that you want to talk to. It's so much excitement to have a conversation. Then when you talk to her, you realize she got bad breath. She ain't really all that. This is what happened when most of the people in NXT got called up.
Or she's Noelle Foley.
Say what?
Or she's just Noelle Foley.
Oh,
hey!
What's her story? She doesn't really want to be a wrestler, right?
And listen, I don't have any problem with her at all, or how she look.
She's gorgeous. That's literally it. That's all she has. Just she's gorgeous.
Hey, and I still don't understand how Mick Foley produced that. It definitely is all the wife.
Remember his wife? His wife was a model.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. But yeah, I want to try to stay on topic because I'm falling off. NXT Takeover. We're gonna go through the matches very quickly and who we think is going to actually win. So first match, we have Johnny Gargano going against Andre Alamos. That's my boy there now. So I want to ask you all, who do you think is going to win that match?
Gargano has to win.
Yeah, Gargano has to win. Okay, that's your pick.
He just came back, from his own little injury and shit. So, it's Joey wrestling right there. He's got to do it.
See, here's the thing. I think he does have to win.
Johnny wrestling.
But I will say this. Almas has been getting a bit of a push as of late, and he has this female, manager now that is helping him. I look at when they first brought this guy into NXT, and they had him just job to everybody.
It was back and forth. He jobbed, and then he would win some other ones, but it was like a weird flip flop with him.
Yeah, well, the 50-50 booking, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, you say Johnny Gargano will win. I'm going to go with Almas because I feel like the woman is going to somehow help him get that victory over this guy, and then that will keep him and Gargano busy for a little while until Tommaso comes back and really has his feud with Gargano for next year, I guess, because I don't know how long his injury is. He's going to be out with injury, but that's my guess, Almas. So, who do you think is going to win, Ricky?
Tranquilo. I think Cien Almas. I think he will win this match, and it will be due to shenanigans. But I see him coming out top of this.
Yeah, that's what I think too. How about you, Dana?
It would be nice if Johnny win, but nope, Almas. They're repackaging him, so it really makes no sense for him to lose.
Ouch! 3-1. So
okay.
Hey, Adam might be right though. He might be right though. So we'll see what happens.
I got almost all of. I think I got all the other ones last pay-per-view right. So I have a feeling he's still gonna win. Joey, he'll figure out some way to win. Because it seems too predictable. Like you said, girls involved and do the whole thing. It seems too predictable.
We'll see. Next up, this is the match I know you're definitely looking forward to. We have Aleister Black against Hideo Itami. I think Itami, they have turned him heel now, but Aleister Black is the future, so obviously Aleister Black is going to beat the hell out of Itami, in my opinion.
I don't know why I see this ending as a DQ. I see them squashing it.
You think so?
I think that because he's a heel. Itami, I feel he's going to try to cheat or do something. Something's going to happen. I mean, if not, he will get beat clean, but then if that happens, he's done.
Well, that's the thing. I thought he was done anyway. I thought his time is coming up soon anyway.
I think it is. Maybe he's still trying to do something, or maybe they're still trying to get their money's worth from him. But man, Aleister Black, if there's anybody that beats him, it's definitely not going to be this dude. He's solid. He is just solid. I mean, he's an entertainer. I mean, that's why they're putting all these fresh faces that come in that are known independent wrestlers that can go. They're putting them all against him because they know he could put on one hell of a match, and they're not going to have him lose to Tommy. You know, this guy, I could see him easily getting up there to the point where he's like Asuka, undefeated. You know what I mean? He has. It's just it works. He's the future. That's, to me, I don't care what JBL says. That dude is the future. That dude is going to fill that empty spot that the Undertaker left, because he is that energy. You know, he's got the look, he's got the entrance, he's got the move set. You know, it's all believable. You know, he's not talking a lot. He's not doing. He's talking with his moves. He's talking with his abilities. You know, and that's why people are like, "Wow, this is great." You know, and that's it. I don't know if they're going to keep him there, you know, but I could see them moving him up, and he can just, if they're smart with him, have him fill that void of the Undertaker. You know, have him get a manager or something, and just boom, let him go. You know, because he's gold. That's money right there. He's the best they have.
It's possible. Yeah, I agree. Ricky, who do you have in this match?
Well, I remember being kind of surprised recently finding that Tommy turned heel. I also have not been watching NXT for like the last couple of months, so I'm not totally in tune with all these storylines. That's the thing. Like, and it's harder for me to make these predictions for NXT, admittedly, because I haven't seen the storylines. I haven't seen how the characters develop. So I haven't had a feel for what direction they kind of want to go on things. I'm going to go with my hunch and say Aleister Black wins, but Tommy inflicts some damage after the match because, again, he's a heel.
And also remember, Aleister Black is undefeated.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
They're not going to have Tommy be the one to break that. Tommy will do something, even if, like, to attack him after the match or something. But I think Aleister Black has to win this, so I'm going with him.
Yeah, good guess. How about you, Dana?
She's looking at a cheat sheet.
No, I'm here. I see it's going to be. I like Hideo. I will always like him. No, it's completely Aleister Black. Absolutely.
So see, everybody says Aleister Black. So yeah, that's good. That's good. The hype is real. The hype is real.
Oh, the hype is definitely real, and that's the thing. It's like it's one of those hypes where they didn't even do a package deal or anything. He just shows up, and a lot of people know him, from the indie scene. And he was also a specialty match when they did the European Championship. He came in, and if I remember right, they used him as his previous gimmick, which was it Tommy End? I know it was End. I'm trying to remember. But he went under that gimmick name, and then right, that's what they used it. I think they used that for that one, and then when he showed up at NXT, that's when they changed it to Aleister Black. But man, he is just, for those who are not watching. I mean, if they put him on the main roster tomorrow, he's just going to be the draw right there, because everybody's going to be like, all right, I want to see him. You can think about it, the way he has the size, he has everything. He can go with anybody. You can put him against a Brock. You can put him against a Roman. You can put him against, a Finn Balor. You can put him against anyone, and it just would work. He knows how to work with people. You know what I mean? He's a really good wrestler. Really good. Entertaining. Everything works. I just can't. I'm just hyped on him. So I hope everything works out for him and he gets there.
Absolutely. Okay, the next match, we have the Authors of Pain defending the NXT titles against Sanity. Yeah, didn't see that one coming, right? So who do you guys think is going to win that match? Ricky, how about you give us your guess first?
Before I give a guess, are both these teams heel or?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's interesting. I'm going to say Authors of Pain retain the belts. I don't see the Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf. I don't see them as all that big a deal as far as the tag team goes. Yeah, Authors of Pain, I feel like they still got to hold it a little bit longer. So I'll say they retain the belts.
Okay. How about you, Adam?
I see Sanity winning for a few reasons. One, there's 4 members of that damn group. You know, we got Young, we got the crazy girl. You know what I mean? Someone's going to interfere. And plus, we just saw that video for 2K18. You know what I mean? You got to make them look strong. You know what I mean? This team needs gold of some sort. You know, the chick hasn't gotten the gold. Young is definitely not getting gold. So this is the only opportunity for them to have gold. You know, and if you're going to be one of those definitive strong factions, you need to have some gold, especially before you go to the main roster, because that's what they hype you on. You know, oh, former champ, former NXT champ, former NXT champion, you know, former women's. They need that, you know, and they're definitely going to come up at some point. So they need to do something, you know, and I think this will be it. They're going to find some way to cheat. They're going to get the gold. You know, they'll eventually lose it, but they're going to get it. And now you're going to see some gold with them. You know, they've been around for a while, and they have not had any champions. Usually, and when you have a stable like this, you have 1 or 2 people with gold. You know,
That's true. That's true.
That's what I see happening. And you know, the Authors of Pain, I don't know. Maybe they'll move them up. You know, I feel like they've kicked everybody's ass for a while. You know, and it's like, oh, what are you gonna do? You know, they could keep them there, have them do a feud. You know, I talked about it before. You know. If you want to keep it as a brand, you keep people there, but that's not what they're going with. You know, they're using them up. They do the round robin, and then they fit them up to the main roster.
So you think AOP is going to get called up soon?
Yeah, I could see them because they're big. You know, it's the same thing. Big men. You know, it's a big man tag team. You know, and with the tag team division sort of hurting on the top both shows, you know, this will be the big intro. It's like, oh, we got this big devastating tag team. Because it's weird. They had Andrews and Gallows, but they sort of made them like a weird comic relief type of group. You know what I mean? It's like they didn't really come in as the ass kickers from New Japan like they were promoting them. You know, they're giving them all this weird mic time. They're talking crazy. Remember Doc Gallows and all that stuff? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, it's like they're supposed to be these badasses. You know, Authors of Pain don't talk. I don't even know where they're from. They have some heavy accent.
When I left off NXT, Heavy Machinery were going to be the #1 contenders for the tag belts. What happened with that?
They're still there. They're there, but it's like they're still new. You know, they're still new. They still have to work their way up. You know, but they're still relevant.
Okay, I mean, I'll still go with AOP, but I could totally see your point. You know, with them going with something fresh and giving Sanity the rub there. See where that goes. That might go later.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it. Young, he's not even in the picture for a title shot. You know what I mean, it's like they're not even. And then the other chick, she got beat up a bunch of times by Asuka, so her time ain't coming anytime soon.
Yeah, I will say this, and I'm gonna let Dana have her time to say something. I do think that if Sanity loses this match. Well, I think whoever loses the match is going to get called up because I think at this point, as you said, they need more tag divisions that they can mess up on the main roster as they did with Enzo and Cass and a few other teams. Mm-hmm. So now you need to bring in some new blood.
Revival. Remember, Revival, that pretty much, that guy got hurt. He's out, and that was one of their up-and-coming heel tag teams. So they need to fill that void.
Yeah. I definitely see that. Now you say that. Yeah, I forgot about Revival, and that injury was heartbreaking.
Yeah, and that was I think that put the hold on seeing Matt Hardy go into his crazy gimmick.
Yeah,
because it was supposed to happen during that feud, and then now that that's not happening, what do you do?
It's a good question.
So I'm pulling for AOP now for sure. If that means that the Sanity will get called up, because I'm actually really looking forward to those guys being on the main roster. So.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. And Dana, who do you think is going to win?
It is easily going to be Sanity. So, yeah. No, the thing is, I see is that Eric Young just came back. They just announced them on the 2K18. I see them winning, and they need a push. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, we have Asuka defending her title against Ember Moon. I will say this, like I said, I have watched a little bit of NXT, not as much as of late. I know that they had the whole storyline where Ember Moon got injured, and they had her off for a while after she lost the match to Asuka, a controversial loss, I might add. I think if there was ever a chance for you to take it off of Asuka, this is it now, because unless you have somebody that's going to win that women's tournament that's going to come in there and challenge her for the belt, I don't see why she should still have the belt. So even though I love Asuka, I want to see her get called up to the main roster more than staying in NXT. So I think that Asuka will probably lose this match. But it's going to be a hard fought match from both of them. It has to be. But I think Asuka, it's time for her to go on to the main roster.
It's time.
So what? How about you, Adam? You said Asuka also?
Yeah, I think she's gonna lose. I think it's gonna be it. I mean, I don't know if this is true, but supposedly Asuka was talking to some Japanese press and saying that she's moving up to the main roster soon. You know, because they were asking her future, like, where do you see yourself? You know, you've been there for a long time. She's moving up soon. So in some ways, that's got to be a spoiler. And it's true. She's like 150 wins and or some ridiculous number. I mean, they have to move her up. And I understand they don't know what to do with her when they do move her up, but they have to. You know what I mean? At this point, it's like she's beating everybody multiple times. You know, the only real contender is Moon. You know, and yeah, I think this would have happened earlier, but she did legit get hurt. You know, so then they just, you know, bought time because we have a plan. They have a plan for Moon, you know, and that she has to win the title. She has to be the one. She is the chosen one. And we're going to see a title change. And I think it'll be okay. No one's going to be shocked. No one's going to bitch. It's going to make sense because it's like, all right, you know, Asuka held it for a damn long time, you know, and time for her to go and face new challenges.
Absolutely. More competition. That's right.
More competition. We want to see. There's so many matches she can do that we haven't seen, you know, but she's stiff. That's the only concern that I think WWE has, you know, is that she does wrestle stiff, you know, and it comes off. You can see it, you know, and for some girls that work, they're cool with it, you know, especially like Sasha Banks and all the, you know, the main girls that we know, Becky and them, they're cool with it. But all these other chicks, I don't know if they're ready for that. You know, and maybe that's another reason why they haven't moved her up, you know, besides not knowing what to do is like, you know, she's kind of stiff. So we'll see. I mean, we all know Shinsuke's stiff. And that's the thing. They spent years wrestling strong style, you know, and then they come to WWE and have to, like, you know, hold back a lot. You know, it's a change. It's a change. You know, don't tell me when you see the Shinsuke's are coming in a flying knee to your face, there's only so much you can hold back. You know, your body weight is still coming forward. You know, just ask Austin Aries. You know, he'll tell you that shit legit.
That's true. You're right.
You know, so.
So, who do you say, Ricky?
Well, I really, really hope that they send Asuka to SmackDown Live. Please send her to SmackDown Live. Don't bring her to Raw. It's already too stacked on Raw. I don't want that.
I don't want anybody there. I don't want anybody to go to Raw.
No. Bring her to SmackDown. And I think that, you know, I'm a big fan of Asuka. I think, unfortunately, Saturday her run ends. I think they'll have Ember Moon win. They'll give her the rub. She'll have the belt. It'll be a huge rub for Ember Moon. I feel like they already kind of built towards that with how Takeover Orlando happened. So they're gonna have Ember get her let's say, like, vindication, I guess you could say, or something. I'm in the camp that it's the wrong move. I think that they should have Asuka leave NXT undefeated. They should just have her drop the belt. Be like, okay, we're going to have the women have a tournament to determine a new champion. The same way they did with Paige. When Paige got called up, she was the defending NXT Women's Champion. They had her forfeit the belt, and they had a little tournament to award the winner, the new champ. I feel like they should do that with Asuka. I don't think they're going to, but that's just how I feel about that.
Yeah, sounds good. I agree. Dana, who's your pick?
Yeah, I want Amber to run. I'm so sick and tired of Asuka. Asuka is the Brock Lesnar. I just like do something with her. Let her be called up. The women's division is booty butt. It sucks. Let her go and join them. Do something with her that isn't the same formulaic thing that we've been seeing, and have Amber win. I'm so sick and tired of Asuka. And whatever talent that she has, and she is talented, to me has just been diluted by her just constantly winning all the time.
Hey, well, I just want to say I want to see Asuka come to that main roster and run through everyone in the division the same way as she did NXT.
I would love that. Have her destroy Bayley. They're booing her anyway.
She's already done that before.
You know what's funny? It's like Bayley's reaction was like, "What the hell?" Like, I think it really affected her. Like, she just was not expecting that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, you're not going to be liked everywhere you go. I mean, not everybody's liked. Not everybody likes me. You know, that's just life. You know what I mean? It's just, and it was like a wake up call for her, I guess. You know, that hey, one day, you know, you're not going to be what everybody wants. You know.
I say it definitely was a wake-up call. We'll see. And
it's
of course,
it reminds me, wait, real quick, just to relate to it, reminds me of Batista. When Batista came back, and he was instantly getting booed, and he was pissed, and he was talking about it on social media. He couldn't understand why people were hating on him. And when he won the Royal Rumble, people booed him even more. And he was like, you know, I'm leaving. I want out of my contract. I can't do this. This is making me look bad because then Hollywood won't like me. Because then they'll think people don't like me because they don't understand how, you know, the cheers and boos work. They think if people booing, then it's because they don't want to see him. You know what I mean? And he wanted out of his contract because of that whole thing. So it impacts them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Well, we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So, of course, the main event, Bobby Roode will defend the NXT title against Drew McIntyre. As soon as Drew McIntyre came in and said that he wanted that NXT title, I had already figured, well, yeah, this is the guy that will take it off of Roode. And the thing about it is that, you know, it all depends how long they want to drag this out, because you do still have Roderick Strong that is involved in this to some degree, even though he is not in any match right now. On the actual card.
You got Cassius Ohno. There's other people.
Yeah. So, but if I was to make a choice, I would say it's definitely going to be Drew McIntyre. I think Bobby Roode, I mean, I believe he's in his 40s now. So if he's ever going to get called up, it has to happen now. It can't happen to like maybe 6 months, 7 months from now. It needs to happen now. Yep. But I say McIntyre wins. How about you, Adam? What's your pick?
Yeah, Drew's gonna win. I mean, it's time for Bobby to come up. This is it. It's been too long. You know, we need to see the Glorious on the big stage. We need him to get on the mic and start doing the big feuds. And it's sad because it comes down to the creative. You know, hopefully creative does it right. I mean, the only team that I know NXT, they said has a separate creative that Triple H is really behind. You know, but when it comes to SmackDown and Raw, I mean, does that mean that when Triple H lets these guys come up, is it like, you know, his hands washed clean of it? Does he have any say? Think about it. You know what I mean? It's like he's the one that was really pushing for Finn Balor to come in. He gets Finn Balor. He pushes him. He hypes him, does the whole thing, you know, and then shit, he freaking guy got hurt. Things happen. Now he's doing bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you know, you got Roman Reigns calling him small on TV. You know what I mean? You can't certain key words you can't say. You know, and that should be one of them. Don't call other top talents small. Don't point out some of the flaws or the obvious things that we see because you're undermining them. You know what I mean? It's like just they should always be larger than life. All of them. You know, we learned that from our boy Benoit. You know, it's like, yeah, he was small, but he was still a big man. We all saw him as a big man because he could toss them all around. You know, he was strong. He was a small man, big, you know, presence. It just worked. You know, and that's the same thing they had to go with Finn Balor. And when Roman came out and said, "Hey, little man," you know, and talked down to him like that pissed me off. Because then that, to me, just tells me, he's like, Vince, this is Vince talking. You know, this is Vince pointing out, hey, you're still little. So it's like, why the hell did he come up? Why did he leave Japan? You know what I mean? When he was considered one of the big dogs there, to come here and have somebody just talk down to him like that and not see him as an equal. Whatever. But the point is, you know, yeah, Bobby should come up, you know, and if all goes well, you know, he stays up and he stays one of the big guys and he doesn't show up and just gets thrown in the mid-card range. You know, right now, the only person, well, there's two people, but no, forget that. No, the only person that stayed up, who's been in there and has stayed up, is Samoa Joe. I was going to say KO, but KO is what, battling for the United States title and is making believe the main title doesn't even exist. You know what I mean? So they've pushed him down. You know, but Samoa Joe, he's been up there. He's getting a lot of praise, and he deserves it. You know, and he should stay a top guy. People are like, oh, well, people go up and down. No, there's some people that jump in as top guys, and they stay top guys. Shawn Michaels stayed as a top guy. You know, so there's plenty of people that can do it, and he deserves it. He needs to stay as the top guy. You know, Bray Wyatt, I think he should also stay as a top guy. He's over with the crowd. You know, he's got a good gimmick. Everything works. You know, I wasn't too upset about him winning against Finn. Just found it confusion to do that right before SummerSlam. You know, and then I realized after when they kept saying, "Oh no, the demon is coming." The demon. So he's putting on some face paint. Okay, I get it. It's not like he comes out with a whole new move set and an entourage. You know what I mean? It's just him.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
You know, and let's say bring Crazy Steve. Anybody listening know Crazy Steve? You know, Crazy Steve, he's crazy, got crazy paint, everything. He got signed months and months and months ago by WWE, and we haven't seen him. And he was a guy from Impact. He was part of that whole crazy gimmick that the Hardys did with the decay and all that stuff. He was part of that tech team. He has all this crazy makeup and stuff, and he's real creepy. And he's good on the mic, and they picked him up a long time ago, and we have not seen him in NXT or anything. So I don't know, but whatever.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ricky, who's your pick?
So I feel as though Drew McIntyre will get this. Bobby Roode will get called up to Raw. Hope I'm wrong about that, but that's the feeling I have. I totally want McIntyre to win the belt. I think it'd be great for him. Especially if he was the chosen one, Vince McMahon's handpicked guy, and it didn't quite work out. He had the 3MB thing, and I actually really liked 3MB at the time. And I've always been a supporter of him, Drew McIntyre. Glad that he's back. Really hope that he gets the belt. Bobby Roode doesn't have much more to prove on the NXT roster. The only question I have is if Roode does get called up, who takes his spot as the top heel in the company? I don't know.
Drew takes that spot.
Drew becomes heel, you think?
Oh, he is heel.
He's heel?
Yeah. I don't see him as a babyface. He comes in with that attitude and gives everybody that snooty remark that he was a chosen one. Remember, Vince chose him as a chosen one?
Yeah. He will be the chosen one again, as in the chosen one that will lose to Roman Reigns when he gets back put on the main roster. So, yeah. But hey, that's a good theory about him being healed, because now you have him and Roderick Strong, because they've already had a match tonight. I didn't watch the match, obviously, because we've been recording this.
I'm gonna watch it once this is done. I'm gonna go and watch it.
Yeah, so we'll see. But that's good. That's a good pick. Dana, who's your pick?
Okay, here's my pick. My pick is that I want McIntyre to win because I want Bobby Roode to come up. My only one stipulation is this. I want him to have the glorious entrance. So I'm afraid that once he's called up, they might change that. So I want him to be called up, but I want him to keep his gloriousness. Also, I think would be very interesting if they have a DQ, and it actually is Adam Cole who does the DQ.
That'll be interesting.
Interesting, but I don't know. I think it's too soon. I don't know if Adam Cole is a household name like that they could bring him in.
But that's
will be through with it.
That's how you introduce someone right away.
Yeah. I guess.
You guys are like.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's possible. Everything is possible. You know, I know. Like Ricky said, you know, you definitely will see this guy probably ringside, because they've been doing that also. But
I could see that. I could see Adam Cole being at ringside like they did with Bobby Roode when he signed. Remember, in a suit and everything, just watching the match. I could see that.
Absolutely. So we'll see what happens. But I think that concludes the NXT Takeover predictions. Now we're going to run through SummerSlam. And obviously, with some of these, I don't think it's going to be a long conversation because you already know some of these. I think it's pretty obvious what will essentially happen. So let's start off with the pre-show matches. There are 2 matches they did confirm for pre-show. We have Akira Tozawa defending his newly won Cruiserweight title against Neville. I think Neville's winning that title back because the Titus brand stuff, I'm glad that Titus O'Neil, you know, I guess he finally has something he could be proud of. But Neville held that title for a long time. And like you said earlier on the show, Adam, if Neville was going to lose, it should have been to Austin Aries. I don't understand why they made the decision to give it to Tozawa, obviously because they want to get people to watch this show, but I think Neville's winning that belt back. That's my pick.
I pick Neville. You can move on. I think Neville.
Okay, how about you, Ricky?
Yes, I think he will regain the belt. I think that's the whole reason why they had him drop it recently. It's to create interest in the rematch and then keep that program going a little more. So I'm going to say Neville wins that title back.
Okay, how about you, Dana?
Nope, I want Tozawa to win. I think it'd be interesting if he keeps winning, and you know the Titus brand needs actual, you know, something to hang on to. So have him win, retain.
One thing I want to say real fast. I haven't really watched much 205 Live, but I saw a clip of Neville's promo this week, and he does a really good job of playing the deranged, sleep deprived, guy. And you should just check out the promo if you ever get a chance to. He does a spot on job.
Gotta check that out. Absolutely. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Neville sounds like Neville. We'll see who wins. Next up, we have the New Day, Biggie and Xavier Woods defending the titles against the Usos. So I think that the Usos have been really good as of late. I don't really think New Day needs those tag titles, so I will say the Usos will probably win those titles back if I had to make a guess. How about you, Adam?
I could see the Usos. I mean, they did the whole gimmick change. They're trying to make things interesting for them. You know, it just makes sense. You know, New Day getting the titles, holding whatever. I think they're just holding it, you know, until the next team is ready to take it. But they don't really need it. You know what I mean? They're so over with the crowd. People love them. You know, so it's not about the title anymore for them. But Usos need it, and they're a heel tag team, so it's always good for business to have a heel champ.
Absolutely, absolutely. How about you, Ricky?
You know, thought about it, and I'm going to go with what you guys are saying with Usos. I think having 2 title changes on the pre-show is one way to get the energy going of kind of that whole, like, you know, crazy shit can happen kind of deal. So, but I'm really enjoying the Usos' work, and I'm hoping for them to get the belts back. And I'm finding New Day to be kind of stale. So I'm going to say Usos tag titles back.
Cool. How about you, Dana?
Is it wrong to say I don't care?
That's what's on the pre-show.
Yeah, I really don't care. But here's the thing. I enjoy both of them. I think both teams have great chemistry with each other, and they're working out really well with each other. I don't really care who wins. To me, it's not even like a division that they seem to be vested in, and it just seems the same guys over and over again. So I don't care. But if I have to throw out a guess, I want the Usos. I'm tired of New Day winning stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Need it. It's over. They don't need it.
Yeah, they definitely don't need it. That's just the main thing I was saying. I don't think they need it at all. So yeah, we'll see. Usos for the win. Next up, we have Naomi defending her title against Natalya. While I think that Natalya is obviously someone who has been doing a lot of great things for the company, but never actually getting a chance to hold the belt, would have been great to see her win, but it's just not going to happen. And I think that you may see a cash-in with Carmella, even though I think that should be at a later time, because I don't think Carmella is ready to hold that belt. But I do think Naomi will win, and you may see a cash-in. But Natalya, nah, she's not going to win. How about you, Adam? What's your pick?
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. I want Natalya to win something. You know, but I don't know. I don't see it happening. But it'd be cool if she did.
It would be. Yeah, I feel like she deserved it after all the stuff that she's been doing for the company, losing left and right and not holding any titles, but I don't know. We'll see. How about you, Ricky?
Yeah, I am in the same camp as you guys. That I think Natalya's done solid work. Would be nice for her to have, you know, at least one title reign before she retires. But no, I see Naomi retaining. I don't think we get the cash in. I think Carmella teases it, and it almost happens, but Naomi escapes or something, and it gets put off a little longer. So that's how I predict it will turn out. Naomi retains.
Good guess. How about you, Dana?
Well, I want Natty to win. She's one of the wrestlers who needs it the most. She has been helping his company and helping other superstars, you know, come and go, and she's seen people succeed way more than she has. She needs it. She's old now. She looks old. So it's time for her.
She's old. She looks old. You're so wrinkly. Look at you.
Yeah, so, but she won't. But she should. She has nothing else to do. Let her win.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, next up we have Alexa Bliss defending her title against Sasha Banks. I know that they have been pushing Sasha as of late, but, you know, Bayley was also injured, and Bayley, that was her opportunity to come back. And they had this whole storyline coming, which made you think, well, Sasha Banks is going to turn heel on Bayley as soon as Bayley did win that belt back. So that didn't happen. Not really sure how they'll alter that now, but I would say the way they build Sasha Banks makes me think that they will give her that win. So I guess I have to say Sasha Banks. How about you, Dana? Who's your pick?
This is another match I really don't care for. I don't care about, but I think it would be great if Bayley turned heel, but she won't, because she's a John Cena and she's boring and has no personality unless they won't allow her to. So I do see her winning and Sasha giving her this great, wonderful hug.
Wait a second. I'm confused with what you said. You said Bailey winning.
Sorry, Sasha winning. See, they're so interchangeable now. Everyone's confused. That's how boring this is, and how boring this division is. You're interchangeable. Sasha's gonna win. Sorry.
There you go. How about you, Ricky?
Yeah, Sasha will win. Sasha Banks. I think she'll win it. You know, like they'll, and I think Alexa Bliss will get it back at some point within probably the next 6 months. I see her dropping it to Sasha at SummerSlam.
Yeah, sounds good. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, I don't see it, Sasha. I mean, Sasha makes sense, but I don't see it happening. This is Bliss's time, you know, and she's gonna have it for a while. You know, I could see her having it for a while, which I'm really surprised because I mean, when I first saw her in NXT, I was like, this ain't working out. Because remember, she came out with this little fairy dust thing, and she was dancing around.
She had the Frozen gimmick, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, this ain't gonna work, you know. But her mic skills, it's her mic skills that got her over because she comes over, you know, as a real bitch, and it works, you know. So, you know, I think that she's gonna keep the belt for a while. You know, it's gonna take a while before she loses it. There's no point in flip flopping it with Sasha.
Absolutely. Good points. Good points. Okay, we have AJ Styles defending the United States Championship against Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon as the special guest referee. Because they have this whole thing that they have teased that eventually Kevin Owens is going to have an issue with Shane McMahon in the potential match, I think AJ wins, hands down. That will also kill Kevin Owens' gimmick as the face of America for good, so they will have to change that up. But I think AJ Styles will win that match. How about you, Adam?
It's tough. This one can go either way. Either way. Because I have a feeling that Shane is going to play a big part in this. So then it all leads up to, what do we want to see? Do we want to see him go against AJ again? You know, or do we want to see him go against Owen? You know, and so I have a feeling that somewhere along the lines, you know, AJ will win, but Owen will push or cause some kind of problems with Shane, and then that'll be the match that they hype up. So that's my thought. I think.
We'll see. How about you, Ricky?
No more hot potato between these two for the U.S. belt. AJ wins. He retains the belt. Owens out of that picture, and he's probably going to have beef with Shane. But I don't see Owens winning that U.S. title back anytime soon.
Good guess. Okay, Dana?
I see old man Shane winning. That's who I think. At the end of the day, victorious. But I really want AJ to win. So I see that.
Do you think they would ever give Shane a belt?
They have. They've done it before.
Oh, that was but that's before he was like in this role as the boss. Before he was just a competitor.
I don't think now. No.
They probably won't, but I will say this: they need to give Shane his walking papers and tell him no more wrestling. I'm tired of seeing this guy in the ring before wrestling.
Am I the only person who likes him wrestling?
You are the only person.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. More entertaining what's going on with the women's division.
You know, I just don't. I mean, even if he does a match here and there, it shouldn't be seen as a spectacle. Like the way I'm telling you, like the way he carries himself and the way they promote it, as if like he's like this wrestling god. You know, like, what? You're challenging Shane? Do you not know he likes to jump off of high things? You know what I mean? It's like, yo, what have you done? Like, you're not really a performer. Like, yeah, you can wrestle, you can do the whole thing, but you're not an attraction. You're not there, and it just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't do it for me.
I enter into the ring by a helicopter. That'll be funny.
Who did that? Sting did that.
Sting.
He did.
He did really? Yeah, when they did one of their nitros or something outside, In fact, that ring I think was surrounded by water. Remember that, where it was like the ring was on a
It was
pool? I remember that. It was like in a pool. I was like, "What is this?" That was when Big Show picked up a guy and threw him in the water. Like it was the ring. It was like some area around the ring that was open, and then there was the water, and he just like chucked him.
I remember for WrestleMania 29 in New York, it was the Shield's WrestleMania debut. I really wanted them to come in from a helicopter. I thought that would have been the most badass WrestleMania entrance of all time. But logistically, it wouldn't have been possible because of the way the ring was set up. The whole Statue of Liberty on top and all that stuff. But man, I regret that the Shield never had that helicopter.
Do you remember when they did one of the one of the aircraft carriers that they had, and Yokozuna got body slammed by Lex Luger? He showed up in a helicopter.
I remember that.
I remember
that.
Well, hold on. Who was next? I got a little bit distracted.
And speaking of Luger, he told a story, I think, once about how he was wearing some boots that were kind of slippery, and he was afraid that he was going to slip and fall when trying to lift Yokozuna. But yes, Yokozuna said, "No, it's fine. Go ahead and do it." And they got it done. But all right, let's move on.
Yeah. So we said AJ Styles. Okay, cool. So now I'm gonna very quickly a couple of these throwaway matches. Randy Orton versus Rusev. Randy Orton, because he took all those losses to Jinder Mahal at the other pay-per-view, so now you have to have him win something. So Randy Orton wins. How about you, Adam?
Jinder is going to win. I just can't see it. It just doesn't make sense. That tour to India is just a month away.
Oh, wait a second. Whoa.
Hold on. We're jumping ahead here.
Wait, didn't you just say Jinder? Wait, what did you just said Jinder
Orton versus Rusev.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, Orton and Rusev.
Oh, Orton and Rusev. I'm just thinking about the other one. Okay. Orton, Rusev. Yeah, I could see Orton winning. He has to. I mean, he's been losing all his other matches, so he has to get a big win at a big show.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Dana, what is your pick?
It's good to know that I'm not the only person who's screwing up all these wrestlers in these matches.
Hey, that's because the show is running long. That's why. So.
No, I completely see Randy Orton after that Monday. What was it? SmackDown. That RKO was just too hilarious. So I see him winning.
Yeah. How about you, Ricky?
Yep, I agree that Orton's reward for doing the job to Jinder Mahal is getting a win at SummerSlam against Rusev, who's doing the job for everyone these days. It's too bad because I feel that Rusev deserves better. But I mean, there's worse people you could lose to than someone like Randy Orton. So it's fine. Randy Orton gets this.
Yeah, exactly. The land of opportunity, all right. And Rusev taking losses to John Cena and Randy Orton, back-to-back pay-per-views.
But some people would say, hey, at least you're in the ring with Randy Orton and John Cena.
Well, that's the only thing he could look forward to, and the fact that he got Lana, so that's the one area where he did good with his life.
Oh, no, yeah, Lana, she's something else, but I think she might be a pain in the ass. I mean, that might be a handful.
Land of opportunity, and I'm just going to say real fast, one of the guys that I thought would be a real benefactor of going to SmackDown, Sami Zayn, and he's not on the card.
Yeah, there you go. Well, no, that's okay. He has a big moment coming. I mean, he'll probably win the Royal Rumble next year or something like that.
I don't know about that, but
that's
hey,
that's funny.
Anything's possible. Okay.
Anything's possible.
So another throwaway match: Big Show versus Big Cass with Enzo suspended above the ring.
Why is the so-called babyface in a cage? Like, why? That makes no sense.
Okay, so here's the thing. Now, I did say we're going to run through these quick, but I have to say this right now. this goes to show how bad the writers are when telling a story, because they have this whole thing where Big Show and Big Cass now have a feud, but you have Enzo teaming up with Big Show to make a two-on-one effort. Which, if you're a babyface, why are you teaming up with another babyface to take down a heel? That doesn't make any kind of sense in the storyline. So I know there was rumors of the fact that this thing with Enzo and Cass is going to be turned out to Enzo basically turning on Big Show. I don't know about that, but I will say that Big Cass is definitely winning, because Big Show has nothing to gain by winning this match at all.
Mm.
So Big Cass wins, and if there is a screw job afterwards with Enzo, it's so be it. I don't care, because I don't like how they've handled the whole thing with the team up. They seem like they have nothing planned for Enzo, based on what I see now, but we'll see. But Big Cass is winning.
Yeah, I'll say Big Cass wins. You know what? The only twist that they can throw in on this is if Big Cass wins and they lower the cage, and then Enzo looks at him, and then they hug, and this was all some big ploy just to beat up and make Big Show look like a fool. Because if the rumors are true that they may have to put them together or something, and things aren't working with this, split up, that's the only way I could see this coming in. It'd be cheesy. They would instantly turn into a heel group, and that's it. Because I feel like they're broken. I mean, Cass is nobody without Enzo, and Enzo is nobody without Cass. And unless they move Enzo to another, 205 or NXT where he can do something else, it's pointless. Like, what? All right, so when this happens, Cass wins, beats Big Show, you're suspended, Enzo's suspended in the shark cage, then you have to get lowered, then you get beat up again. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the point? What do we get out of this? Nothing. Cass is still beating everybody up.
Yeah. Yeah, so. You're right. Absolutely right. All right, Ricky, who's your pick?
Big Cass. Gotta be Big Cass. This whole feud is set up to prop him up. And I think because of that, they're not going to reunite Enzo with him. I think it would undo everything that they've done since the split up. I think they think very little of Enzo, despite the fact that he is quite talented on the mic. And he's just being humiliated right now. He's pretty much treated like he's like a little bitch. That's the thing, is he's being treated like a little bitch. Like, oh, I'm going to hide behind Big Show to do my fights for me. Now I'm going to talk big, but I can't do shit because every time Big Cass whips my ass, so I need Big Show to come in there and do that. It makes Enzo look really weak. It's a very thing, and so it makes me wonder if the whole thing with him having backstage, it's a real thing here. So, I mean, there's a part of me that hopes that they pull some fuckery and actually do reunite them, that this was all big a ploy, because I think that Enzo and Cass are much better together than they are separated, but I don't think that's how they're going to play it out. So I say just Big Cass winning, status quo.
Good points. How about you, Dana?
I don't care. Does anyone care? Really? No one cares. But I do see a reunion. I want it because, as Adam was saying, they suck without each other. They need each other. And the crowd, you can clearly tell that they want them together. Because when they had their previous little match on Raw, what was it? I don't know which one they're on. SmackDown. The crowd was dead. No one really cares. Yeah. So they need to be reunited. And I want some weird thing. I feel like they only brought Big Show into this because he has nothing else to do. I need them to...
Big. That's it. He's big.
He's big, but I just feel like overall, they're not doing anything with Big Show, so they just kind of stuck him in there, and no one really seems to know where the direction of this storyline is going. There's no chemistry that's with anything, and they're lost without each other. So I want them to just bring them back. I don't care what they do with Big Show. He can leave. He can be the one who, starts beating up on Cass, and Enzo starts crying, and he's like, no, I need my friend. And then Enzo is, beating up on Big Show in order to help Cass. Something stupid. I don't know. The storyline is stupid. So you bring them back together.
Yeah, that would be funny, right? Like, wait. Just from what you said, that would be interesting if, all right, let's say Kaz wins, right? They lower the cage, and then Enzo is trying to get Big Show to get up. Big Show's all pissed off about losing, so it's beating the shit out of Enzo, and now blaming him because he's like, you got me involved in this. Now I got beat up. Now I look bad. And then Big Kaz runs down, feels bad, and then starts fighting Big Show. And then picks up his little buddy and just carries him in the back.
There you go.
The crowd would pop for that, I think.
Yeah.
Good points. Well, we'll see. Okay, let's move on to the next match. Finn Balor, the Demon, versus Bray Wyatt. Finn Balor wins. Adam.
It's Finn Balor. What? Didn't you see? He's going to be a demon. He's putting a face paint on. That's it. It's like, all right, whatever. I mean, the guy, he's good. I just didn't like the whole setup of this. Yeah, he's going to win. He's going to win. Unless there's a run-in. Unless they do something interesting, I don't see it happen. I see him winning. He has to win.
How about you, Ricky?
50-50 booking. Finn Balor's body paint wins.
Yeah. Okay, Dana?
I see this being the match where everyone starts saying Demon Kane, and, everyone gets confused again. But I do see, I don't know, I see a supernatural element to this match. Because now he's like the demon, and he's going to face Bray Wyatt, and they're going to do something with the lights and make it all, maybe cockroaches again. Who knows with the mat.
I don't know if that went over well, so maybe.
Remember there's the blood. Was there blood with this one?
Was that supposed to be blood? What was that supposed to be?
I forget how they described it. It was like Cole said it was like some kind of like acidic substance. It's blood. It's fucking blood. That's what they just don't want to outright say it because of the children watching all that. But it's kind of like with Gangrel and his mysterious red liquid that he had in his cup. It was blood. Just say it. It was fucking blood. So
now, did they clean the mat? That was pretty quick. Or did they change the mat?
They probably replaced it entirely.
That was quick.
Yeah, but I see like maybe that'll have some weird like side effect, after effect with some special effects and that blood thing. So I do see maybe the return of some blood. I do see, some supernatural elements to this, but overall, I think Finn needs to win because to me, he just seems dead inside. So he needs something to convince us that he cares again.
Yeah, and I'll just add this point. To make the transformation to the demon meaningful, he has to win. Because otherwise, it's like, well, why it doesn't make a difference then that you transform to the demon and you still take the loss? Nah, he has to win the match, just by virtue of that, because then it kills the whole demon gimmick for good if he loses.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but won't SummerSlam mark a year since the last time he wore the body paint?
Yes, it will. And he has bad luck because even after he won that match, he was injured. So let's hope that Bray Wyatt doesn't injure him in that match. No. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Okay, John Cena versus Baron Corbin. I think Baron Corbin wins because John Cena has nothing to gain from this victory. And the whole thing about what happened with Money in the Bank and the fact that Baron Corbin lost that, I think that was to validate and give a reason as to why he will win, because otherwise John Cena wins the match just straight outright. But I say Baron Corbin wins because you already had him lose that Money in the Bank. That's a big deal. So now you want to emphasize he's angry now. He's angry. He wants to get back at John Cena, so now he has to beat John Cena. So I say Baron Corbin will probably win that match. How about you, Ricky?
Baron Corbin gets his payback and beats John Cena. And just a little fun fact, this will be Cena's 7th consecutive SummerSlam defeat. 7.
Hey, that's a lucky number. Okay, how about you, Dana?
Okay, I just want to say really quickly that they released the reason as to why Corbin was stripped from his Money in the Bank thing. He got into a Twitter altercation with Dave Meltzer, and this is the big part, he got into an altercation with a military guy who just came from having a photo op with Vince McMahon.
Oh, okay. So there you go. There you go.
There you
Yeah, apparently the military guy was trolling Baron Corbin, and Corbin talked back to him, and then military guy's like, oh, well, I have a purple heart or whatever it is, and all this stuff, and Corbin kind of backed down from it, but by then it was too late.
Yeah, but that guy initiated it by trolling him, right? This is the guy that started it with the trolling. That's what you said.
No, Corbin started first by attacking Dave.
Okay.
Then the military guy stepped in. So then Corbin attacked the military guy, not knowing that he was in the military, and then started talking about all his Purple Hearts, and then tweeted out the photo of him with Vince visiting one of the military bases.
Interesting.
So that's what happened. But my prediction is going to be Vince is still angry. So I see John Cena probably winning solely because of this.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. John Cena on the Raw, so.
But Corbin's just playing in his character. He shouldn't be, in trouble for that.
No, but that plays to the narrative of, this is Vince's company. At the end of the day, everybody is just watching his show, so he'll determine whatever he wants to determine. Doesn't really care about anyone else, just whatever he likes, which is the problem.
It's his playground, and he's just making money off of it. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so how about you, Adam? What's your pick?
Well, after hearing all that, I don't see Corbin doing anything but jobbing for a while. So, I mean, it's just like, he's on this card just because it's already been billed, but I think he's going to, get into Cena's Suplex City, and that's it. He's going to take an ass whooping. It'll be interesting if he wins, but to hearing all that, and if all that is true, and that's why he got stripped, you don't strip a guy and then let him beat one of your all-time greats.
That's true.
It's like you just don't do it. All
Yeah,
right, you learn your lesson. Okay, now go beat Cena. No, I don't see that.
Yeah, so there you go, John Cena. Yeah, I didn't know that either. So yeah, that definitely changes everything.
And then remember, Vince was already upset because of the whole Shinsuke thing with John Cena and the neck incident. So I do see John Cena winning.
Okay, so we're going to get to him momentarily, Shinsuke. Before we do that, we need to talk about the matchup that I know Ricky is looking forward to more than any other match on this card, and that is the Shield reunion of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins going against Cesaro and Sheamus for the tag titles. So, Ricky, how about you let me know who you think is going to win that match?
So I'm just going to flat out say that Ambrose and Rollins win the tag titles. But the other thing that could happen could be Ambrose turning heel on Rollins, and I'd be okay with that too, because it would be a whole fresh thing for Ambrose to finally be the heel that we all know he's capable of being. But I admit that I'm very nostalgic for the Shield, and I want to see Ambrose and Rollins have a little tag title run before any kind of other split happens. So I'm voting with my heart on this. I'm going to say Ambrose and Rollins take the tag titles from Sheamus and Cesaro.
Sounds good. Dana, who's your pick?
Okay, hi, sorry. Oh gosh. Yeah. I see the same.
Oh.
I predict the same.
Oh, okay. Okay, Adam.
I don't. It's tricky. I don't know. I guess I could see them reuniting and then getting the title and doing that whole thing. But to what I don't think Rollins is as fully over as a babyface. I think he's still a heel. So even if Dean turns on him, I don't think people will give a shit. I think that all this is being done to help get Seth Rollins over as a babyface. He was a heel for so long. You know, so I don't, especially when you start putting him next to Dean, it's like he's a heel. You know, so it's gonna be tough, but give them the belt now. Yeah, why not? You know, there's no other tag teams unless somebody else jumps in, but I guess why not?
But do people still care about the Shield? Because I don't. I'm so far removed from that.
Oh, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
I don't care.
Ouch.
Yeah, I'm in here. I'm still in here. I still care. I mean, there may not be as many people that care about the Shield as before. I mean, they've had that split, and it's been 3 years now. People are sick of Roman Reigns, and he's so associated with the Shield, especially because he kept the music and he kept the gear and all that shit. And we've seen so many Shield-related matches that I could see people being like, okay, whatever. But I don't know. For me personally, who loved that group, it was such a big moment. Just them doing the whole thing with the fists. They did a really good job building that up. And I think that the end game for this, whether they do this at SummerSlam or do it later, is to turn Ambrose heel. Because, yes, Rollins had that heel turn. He betrayed the group. And he's now trying to show Dean, and he's trying to show everyone that, I've reformed. I'm a good guy now. What is it going to take me to show that? And, it's a complicated thing because in real life, it's not that easy to earn trust back when something like that happens. You can't just force someone to trust you again. So this whole thing with them having a tag title run would be a way of kind of like, easing that trust level back between them. And then Ambrose would just turn it at the last second. And then at that point where everyone's kind of gotten comfortable, like, okay, they're fine together, they're good, Ambrose would look like the dick doing the betrayal. Because because him not trusting Rollins now is understandable. But for him to do it later, it'd be like, okay, well, Seth Rollins is reformed, and now Ambrose is just being a jerk. I think that's how they want to play this out. So that's just.
Yeah. Let me just say one thing. I like that theory because then it will also get even more sympathy on Seth Rollins, and they want him to be a babyface. So that is a very good theory.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. I also.
Can they both be heels?
Oh well, I don't know because who are the faces on Raw now? You have Finn Balor. We can't call Roman Reigns a face. This guy is not a face. He is the guy. That's it.
When the Shield show up, when they first showed up, they were heels.
Yeah,
they were heels.
Yeah.
So they would just be going back to the dark side.
Yeah, in storyline purposes, it makes total sense for Dean Ambrose to now turn on Seth Rollins because you've already seen one side of it. So yeah, makes sense for Ambrose to eventually turn.
But can they turn on each other?
Turn on me.
It can be like, psych, I'm still, an ass. And Dean can be like, attacks Rollins and turns heel.
Well, it would just be Dean Ambrose will be like, after a while, it could be Ambrose being calculating and waiting for that right moment to give it back to Seth and be like, see, doesn't feel so good, does it? And it's like, you thought it'd be that easy to get back and all that. And I could see him just like doing a brutal attack on Seth Rollins, like completely fucking him up. It wouldn't be as simple as just walking out in a tag match. He would have to really, really fuck up Seth Rollins to the point where the fans feel bad for Seth Rollins. The same way Rollins fucked up Ambrose, and the fans really felt bad for him then. So it would be a turnaround. So that's going to happen, I really think. I just don't know whether it's going to happen. SummerSlam, I don't know what's going to happen. Survivor Series. I feel like these two are maybe destined to fight each other at the next WrestleMania. They make a great blood feud, these two guys, if they really do it right. Because I didn't feel like they really did it right the first time when Ambrose was the good guy and Rollins was the bad guy. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Good points. Okay, Two final matches to talk about. Jinder Mahal with the Singh brothers defending the title against Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, Adam, you said earlier that Jinder is going to win this match, correct?
Yeah, I think it's too close to this tour in India. I mean, yeah, they could have the reverse because some people say, hey, well, remember, Shinsuke won the title against Joe in Japan. You know, in the NXT title, that was a big deal. So I could see that happening too. But it depends. It depends on the way they want to go with it. You want to do a short title reign for Shinsuke, then yeah, he wins. And when they go to India, he loses. You know, and Jinder wins. But the thing is, I think for Jinder to really get over, especially if he's in India, he's got to win clean. You know what I mean? They got to see their man win strong. You know, so I don't know. It's tricky with this, but I mean, it's all about business. I'm not even thinking about storyline. It's all about business. You know, you're going into a market where they advertise that's the fastest growing market they have right now, especially when it comes to the WWE Network. You know, so you're going to want the big guy that you spent all this money boosting. Look, he's got an entourage. They're paying those two Singh brothers to just hang with him. He's got his new intro. You know, they got the roids and stuff they got to keep feeding him. They got to keep him big. So because of all this, it just makes sense that he has the belt either at the end of this match or he retains it when they're in India. It doesn't. Everything is against Shinsuke right now.
So those are some great points. I'm gonna try to keep mine brief. I will just say this: perhaps Vince is still a bit angry about Shinsuke, the whole situation with Cena. But I do want to mention this. I understand that it is business decisions that will drive them, which is why Jinder Mahal is in the position he is in now. But I think at some point, as somebody like me, it's totally unbelievable to look at this and be like, well, yeah, Shinsuke beat Cena. Okay, good. But he can't beat Jinder Mahal? That's some BS.
Oh,
because there's no way
going to be, of course, but there's going to be interference. That's the whole thing. There's always, I mean, think about it. Almost every match that Jinder's had that he's won is through interference because of these dudes that he has with him. So that's just going to play another part. You know,
see,
so.
No, you're absolutely correct. And even with the match that he had the other night against John Cena, John Cena had that match won until Baron Corbin decided to interfere in the match. So what you say is right. It makes sense for business for Jinder to win. I think though, I think Shinsuke can win and should win. Whether or not he actually wins, we'll see. I have to root for him though, because this Jinder Mahal thing is going to end at some point. Even if with the Indian tour coming up, I feel like he will not have that title by Survivor Series. I just don't see that happening. But that's just my guess. Ricky, who's your pick?
For a while, I thought that Jinder Mahal would retain at SummerSlam, that Shinsuke would just be a throwaway. But I think it would be a disservice to Shinsuke to have him just be a freaking throwaway on such a big pay-per-view. You remember Shinsuke Nakamura lost the NXT title to Samoa Joe last Takeover in Brooklyn. I feel like they owe it to Nakamura to have him win a big match on a big stage. I feel that the best way to go about it from a business standpoint, have Nakamura win at SummerSlam, have him drop it back to Jinder Mahal in India, because it's a little different when you've got a guy like Jinder Mahal coming in with the belt and he's defending it against a babyface, in his home country. Even though he's from Canada, we're going to say India is the home country. It's a lot more interesting for the fans in India if they get to root for the guy to win the belt against Nakamura, who's the champion. So Nakamura kind of gets to play the heel there in a way, and it would make for a big moment for them. I know that there's a lot of xenophobic WWE fans in stateside that don't care for that. But no, I think it would be cool. So I think it'd be cool. So we're gonna say Nakamura wins it, has his first title reign. It's a short one, and it wouldn't be the first. He wouldn't be the first wrestler to have a short first reign. It'll be the last. And Jinder gets it back. I believe next month is when they go on tour in India. So that's the way I see it. Nakamura at SummerSlam.
Sounds good. Very good. Very good picks. Dana, how about you?
Yeah, I see. I just want a really lovely entrance for both of them. I think that's more entertaining than the actual match. But I do. I'm going to have to go and say and agree with what was previously said. I see Shinsuke winning and then losing once they get to India. Because if you ever watch it, they did an article somewhere where they translated the Punjabi, what is it, when you commentary. So it comes as this big victory of, Jinder being this small underdog and that America is like the enemy and they have to come and, they're keeping him down. They're hindering the Jinder, and Jinder has to rise up and become this great indestructible force. So from that perspective, and then from the fact that they're going to India, I do see him going to drop the title and then winning a month from now when they do go to India.
Interesting. Good. That's all. We'll see how that goes. And now we have one final match to talk about. And that is, of course, the only match that I am interested in on this whole card. That is Brock Lesnar defending the Universal title against Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns. So I want to say right now, I will be fine with anybody winning this match as long as Roman Reigns is not the person that wins the match. I think that to go with Samoa Joe would be very interesting because Joe, in my personal opinion, the way that he has performed in his matches against Brock Lesnar, in his match, but in the promos leading up to the match, and then the promos afterward, I think he has been the best of all of them, which will make a good case as to why it would be great to have him as champion. Plus, you could say he's earned this opportunity because of his career and what he's given to the business. So I would say I'll be fine with Samoa Joe winning, even Braun Strowman, because Braun Strowman is over with the fans. They like seeing him beat the hell out of everybody. We haven't obviously seen him go against Brock Lesnar. They teased that confrontation on Raw a couple days ago, and that was something that everybody wanted to see, but they purposely made it so that, no, you're not going to see it. We're just going to tease it and then tease it until the show goes off the air. So I'll be totally fine with Braun Strowman winning, Samoa Joe winning. Brock Lesnar, I don't really care about Lesnar, because he's not really a fighting champion. He's not there defending the belt on a regular basis. Obviously that's the contract that he signed, and that's Vince. You could blame him for that. So I really don't care to see Lesnar hold that title. I don't care if he goes back to UFC. Maybe that'll be great for him. Do whatever he wants to do, but whenever he holds a title, it hurts everyone else because there are people there that come to wrestle every single day. They deserve the opportunity to actually compete for that title and for it to actually be there. But still, if the choice is to have any of these guys win, I'm fine with that, just so long as Roman Reigns is not the guy that wins. But that's my pick. Anyone but Reigns. So how about you, Ricky? Who was your pick?
Samoa Joe's my pick. I was totally convinced, Brock Lesnar was going to retain at Great Balls of Fire. what a freaking thing that was. But Joe carried that whole program, and he would have been every bit deserving of winning that belt. And my only hope with that is that they were saving the big victory for SummerSlam. I'm going to say Joe actually pulls it off. Hold on, right? He presents the best case scenario, in my opinion. The guy that presents the worst case scenario is Brock Lesnar. Now, some will say Roman Reigns, and I totally get it. So everyone's sick of that. Sick of having Roman Reigns win everything. But Brock Lesnar is the worst case scenario for reasons that you just mentioned, that he's a part-time wrestler, doesn't show the belt much, doesn't appear much. Suplex, 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 that's it. Very, very disappointed with Brock, like just not showing the full arsenal that he's capable of. He's much more talented than this, but this is all we're getting, and that's not anything that I'm interested in. So I see it as Joe winning as the absolute best case scenario. Next best thing is Braun Strowman winning it, because I like him as well. And then Roman Reigns right above Brock Lesnar retaining. Don't really want to see Roman win it, but at least you'd have a champion that actually appears every week. So that's just how I see it. But my prediction is Joe actually gets it done. And we have a monster champion that actually appears and is a beast on the mic as well as in the ring. I can't wait.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent points. Okay, Dana, who's your pick?
We already know that Brock Lesnar is going to win because WWE even announced that he's going to be on the Monday after SummerSlam. So he's going to win, but what I really want is Samoa Joe. I've been watching Samoa Joe since TNA, and he deserves it the most. This man is beyond talented, and he knows how to interact and work with people. And he's a wonderful opponent for anyone that you kind of put him in the ring with. So I really want to see Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar go at it the most. I really do want him to showcase everything that he has in the ring. I do want him to win. I like Braun as well. But Braun, for me, is just like a one-trick pony. Like, no offense, but he's just kind of, big, strong guy who just, yells and beats people. Same thing would go with Brock. But as we already knew from the past, he is talented, but WWE won't allow him to be. So I do want Joe to win the most, and I'm going to just pretend that Roman Reigns doesn't even exist. He's dead to me, so.
Sounds good. Okay, Adam, who is your pick?
Joe. I want Joe to win, but if it's either going to be Joe or Brock, that's it. They tease that whole thing. Oh, if he loses, he's gone. And then a lot of people are like, oh, that makes sense. He's going to go to UFC. That's not set in stone. None of that stuff even in motion right now. So I think he'll walk away winning, and then they're like, oh, wow, well, I guess that didn't happen. Or Joe wins, and then that builds a whole program between him and Brock. Because then that automatically throws the other two guys out of it, and then they can continue their feud, which seems to be going on forever. And then that's it. We just move on. But yeah, Joe deserves it. Everybody knows Joe deserves it. Paul Heyman came out and said Joe deserves it if they ever do take the belt off of, Brock. And then I don't know how much weight that holds, whatever Paul Heyman says, because that's basically saying it. Paul Heyman saying, I don't think that Roman Reigns is the guy. That's a big one because, according to JBL, Vince and everybody think Roman Reigns is the future. And I'm wondering if it's, now that I think about it, if it's because of the age thing. He's not that old. So maybe that's why. He's a company man. He does whatever's told, regardless if he gets booed or not. He has the look that Vince wants and likes, and so that's it. And they think that people are booing him just because they think it's a cool thing to do. And that just shows how detached they are from their own product. Because that's not the reason. But in their eyes, they see what they see. They're in it 24/7. Sometimes you need to take a step back, wipe your eyes for a while, and then take a look forward and be like, oh, wow, that really isn't a blue sweater. And that's what's going on here. But whatever, What was it? I remember, who was it that said it? I think it was Triple H that said it, and he was talking about, or maybe it was Mick Foley. Somebody was talking about how they were trying to talk about pop culture, like some movie or something, to Vince, and he was like, well, when do you have time to watch that? And he's like, what do you mean? Well, we went to the movie. Why are you doing that? You should be watching other matches from the WWE product. You should be watching, what other people are doing to improve yourself. And everyone was like, "Is he serious?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Because Vince lives in the WWE universe. He doesn't watch shit. He doesn't know anything about what's going on outside. He doesn't know any of it. It's people that tell him what's happening. Oh, we're bringing this celebrity. He did this movie. Okay, whatever. He doesn't watch it. It's WWE 24/7 for him. You know what I mean? So imagine if you threw yourself into something 24/7 and just did not care about anything else. How would you see the product? It's like you don't care. It's like you playing your own version of G.I. Joe, setting everybody up and doing the war, and your friends coming over and be like, "But why is that guy there? Shut up! This is my war," and then doing the whole thing. but it doesn't make sense that you have Cobra Commander over here and he being, "Shut up! This is my war." You just watch, and look and doing the whole thing. It's like, all right, and that's what it is. This is all his. This is his playground. All these characters that he creates, these are his toys. He creates the story. He approves everything. You know what I mean? If he doesn't like it, we don't see it. So that's it.
You're right. Absolutely.
So with that said, I don't know. Maybe he'll say, out of spite, like, no, Joe's not going to win. I mean, he never liked Joe. I remember when Joe originally was being tossed around years ago. And it came out that he doesn't have the look. That was something that, man, who was it? There was, I want to say, Jim Ross said it a while ago, but as somebody had said, it was like that he just didn't have the look. He had the work rate and everything, but it just didn't fit. But of course, now that is all out the door. Look at Kevin Owens, So it's showing that you don't have to fit this certain mold of looking like a Greek god, to be a champ. There's other things. There's a bunch of other qualities that you need. One of them is to work on the mic and the stuff that Roman doesn't have yet. And he'll probably get it eventually, but he's not ready. And that's the whole point that people bitch about and why Vince doesn't seem to get it. It's like we see that he's not ready. There's other quality wrestlers you have that are ready. So stop forcing him down our throat. His time has not come.
That's true. You're right. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Very much looking forward to seeing how horrible or good SummerSlam is. I'm going to go with the safe bet and say most of it will probably be a waste of time, but main event should be good.
It's going to be tough trying to watch that live. It's so long.
I will be watching it live with this guy right here, Ricky, Sunday. So we'll see how it goes. It should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But,
well, I mean, hey, we made it through this chat, and it's just as long as SummerSlam.
Yeah,
there you go. There you go. That's right. Yes, that's right. Well, hey, listen,
time flies when you're having fun.
So for the people that was wondering about the last show, well, we didn't do a show Saturday. Well, I think they got their money's worth tonight, even though they didn't have to pay nothing for it. So that's all that matters.
Satisfaction guaranteed, or your money back.
Absolutely. So that concludes our show for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to leave your comments and let us know what you think about a lot of the things we discussed. Do you guys have any final shout-outs that you would like to give? How about you go first, Dana? Do you have any final shout-outs or final words to say?
No, just thanks for everyone for listening. Thanks for the support, and pray for Ric Flair.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely pray for Ric Flair. How about you, Ricky? Any shout-outs you'd like to give? Final words?
Yeah, the Takeover and SummerSlam this weekend, and it's if you like pro wrestling, check it out. It should be a lot of fun. Even though we like to, talk shit about WWE, sometimes they put on a pretty damn good show. Frankly, I'm looking forward to it. Like you said, Rich, we're gonna watch it together. Be great fun. But for everyone, just enjoy it. And keep watching the podcast. Thanks everyone for your support. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to do more of these.
Absolutely. And Adam, any final shout-outs?
Yeah, I mean, keep watching Lucha Underground. Tomorrow's another episode. You know, if you can watch it. The New Japan G1 is coming to Access, right? So for those who don't have their New Japan World, and if you do have that channel, which I think used to be the BNet, or what was it called? But it was the Sports Network. It's this dude's Sports Network. The rich guy, what's his name?
Bezos.
Which one? No, the guy who owns the Mavericks. What's his name? Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban's network. It's called Access now, and that's the one that Jim Ross and another guy co-host. Anyway, the G1 is coming on that. They said they're going to start airing that so people can watch that, see what's going on in Japan. You know, there's a lot of wrestling out there, and then of course, you know, Ring of Honor. If you can get that on TV, then you can watch that. That's another new episode, and it all leads into the mega 6-8 hours of wrestling with WWE. So, you know, there's a lot of programming, man. There's a lot of wrestling. This is probably the most wrestling we've ever had. You know, I mean, wrestling's always been around, but I mean, now we have it accessible. You know, whether it's online or TV, it's crazy. You know, and I'll see some of you guys tomorrow on Throwdown. You know, we have another episode tomorrow. So, that's it.
Shout out to Tetsuya Naito for winning the G1 Climax.
Thanks for the spoilers for everybody that didn't for you guys to watch now, because Ricardo just gave out the ending. So yeah, there's one less wrestling program to watch.
That's your fault. That's where shit.
To watch. Thanks a lot, Ricardo. There we go.
My bad. I apologize, but I'm very excited. Very excited for that. Definitely watch that. Oh yeah, and they got the Mae Young tournament. I've already had some of that spoiled for me. I will not talk about that. But that's coming up soon, and that should also be fun to watch.
Is it the first episode after SummerSlam?
It better not be, because then that extends it to like 10 hours of wrestling. Oh my Lord. Please save something for another day.
Oh, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But, yeah, once again, thanks to all the viewers, Patreon supporters. We'll talk to you all next week.
Later.